So, the black dragon known as Sorinth lifted up into the sky, shedding their black scales. Black scales falling from the sky to the ground among all of you as these two started to gather up all of the scales. Lindsay, roll a perception check for me. Orla, roll a perception check for me.
Oh.
That's right. While that's happening, can I use my Tinker's tools and the 2 pieces of the queen chess piece? And I want to make a necklace, one Marxist-sized with 1/2 and the other dragon-sized for Soren?
Yes.
Cool.
Roll a dexterity check with your proficiency bonus for your Tinker's tools. Are you proficient in Tinker's tools?
Yes.
Okay.
All right. I got a dirty 20.
Your dirty 20. While everyone else is doing all of their things, you hear a... Dan, you hear a... Can you do that thing?
Oh, yeah. Yep. It will take just a second because I totally forgot about it.
The thing I just meant, just reminded you about a moment ago.
Welcome to my life.
You hear a long strumming of a violin or viola. And there is a moment where in the forest around you, you can see a gap in between 2 trees. It's not that song.
I don't know where it went, AJ. I'm sorry.
It's called Sad Strings. Cool.
It's not here for some reason.
All right. So, you hear strings playing, and you see a narrow trail emerge from the swamp. And it looks much lighter, a brighter path. And as it kind of crooks back and forth, what would you like to do?
I'm going to go down it.
So you start walking down it, and this path turns into a crooked lane, and it goes up to a small picket fence, very rudimentary, and you can see a small little cottage. And on the cottage, on the front porch, is a rocking chair. Empty. What would you like to do?
I run up to it.
You run up to it.
Because I clearly know this place before. Like, I've seen this place before.
And as you run up, you see the chair empty. And around you, you start to notice a few different things. You see a tree off in the distance that looks like it's been struck by lightning. And you see a large brown feather amongst some other down.
I'm going to go pick up the feather.
So as you go to pick up the feather, you hear... And the next time you blink, you open your eyes, and you are in front of the rest of your group. These two picking up dragon scales. And you look around, and you are back in the swamp of the Bafa headlands. And you've come to, and you see your group ahead of you. Scrounging up those. Welcome to Roll for Revelry. My name is AJ, your friendly neighborhood DM, and we are here to play some D&D. So, you might want to go around introducing your characters for us and let us know who you play. We'll get into what's going on with our party here, the gang.
I'm Lindsay. I play
I guess
the
you don't have to
character
go first after that. Try to unpack that if you want.
Orla Bitterfoot. How do I unpack that? That was just
Uh-huh.
wild. Are we still doing fun facts?
Yes.
Okay. So, fun fact about Orla is that she is the black sheep of like her 10 siblings and kind of her family. No one after the emergence ever really wanted to leave or go far from where their home or their little village was. They just were very content and kind of probably felt just very safe staying where they were at. But Orla was the one that like felt a need to travel and to explore and to see more. And yeah, that's a fun fact about her.
That she felt out of the group to feel.
That she needed, yeah, that everybody else was content of staying and she was not, yeah.
Sure thing.
I'm Gina. I play Narnip, who is a rock gnome rogue. And growing up on their farm, she had a pony named Tony. So she she is very comfortable around horses and a pretty good rider. I love
Antonio
that.
the Antonio.
Yep.
That's hilarious.
All right.
Yes. Tough follow.
So many emotions.
Yes, I'm Bob. I play Kata, Dragonborn Ranger, and his trusty sidekick, Oki, a red drake. Fun fact. So Kata grew up in the wilds with Oki, and when he first set out into the world, he was what you would probably describe as a little naive. And so he fell for some advertising real quick. And so he's like a big secret fan of like seasonal flavors, like spring dandelion flavored dishes and like gourd flavored things in the fall, a good spicy chili in the winter. Not because he actually likes them, but just because like the advertising got to him.
Like that's what he
pretty
thinks.
early. Yeah, he
He's
thinks
supposed
that's
to-
like he's really into all the holidays.
Okay.
So that's what we do. It's,
He decorates his goose outside of his cave.
exactly.
Is that a Michigan thing? I don't know if it's like a everywhere thing or not.
I don't know.
Anyways. Anything else?
That's
Cool.
it, yeah.
That's it.
That's funny.
All right. Dan.
Well, took mine because Marcus,
So combine.
Marcus is a huge fan of the pumpkin spice latte, which is a real shame. But we will go with another one. Not against the pumpkin spice lattes. People love them. They must be great. Dan thinks that they're also delicious. But Marcus is a fan of large machines. Like,
Has he ever seen large machine? What has he seen? That's large?
no, he just likes the stories of them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Like Iron
like
Giant.
like the Iron Giant, or like like
Dude,
real
don't
big
get me
boats, or like he's heard stories of a thing
Big
called
boats.
an airshipping, and he's super interested in like if you ever got to see one. Closest thing that he's seen so far is a dragon,
Yeah.
and that's Mark's a big fan of airshippies and big boats.
We've been on a boat.
Yeah, but like real, he likes
Like
real big
huge.
boats, like where you don't feel the motion of the ocean. I mean,
So, do you guys want to kind of give us a breakdown of what has happened previously in our last episode, which was 2 weeks ago? So it's understandable if you need some help, but
We kicked ass.
We did kick
we
ass.
did kick ass. There was a
I didn't know if it was going to happen.
so to help you guys out, there was a moment where you found Sorinth and were confronted by Sorinth's keeper and master at the time. Most of them, yes. And you were offered a deal with the Stisha, who is the name of this being. And she offered to weaken her sister, the I think it was the Duchess of Adoring Dream, who was not allowed into her domain, as she was not allowed into they weren't allowed into each other's realms. In exchange for Soren's freedom. You said no and decided to instead battle the Stisha. All of the Stisha, which included that the Stisha was a 3-part being. It was the land around it. It was these, sentinel-style creatures that roamed the swamp, accumulating to a number of 8. And then there was a 1 individual who was a fey-like witch being of some sort of the swamp that dealt with death and decay. So you decided to fight all 3 of these creatures, and successfully so, but not without some loss, I believe. Oki had to tap out at one point.
You took a beating.
And you guys, there was some scarier moments, but you guys were definitely able. And at the end, you intimidated the Stisha into releasing Sorinth, and in their weakened state, they did just that. So, as Sorinth flew into the sky, shedding black scales and revealing her true form as a silver dragon, which makes a little bit more sense in the world that we've created. Black dragon scales are falling from the sky, and Orla had a moment where she just kind of did her own thing and saw a vision or entered another state of being or something that we just went over. What would you all like to do?
I had a 19 on my Tinker Tools
Excellent.
necklaces.
You successfully made, you're able to thread a little bit of the hempen rope that you do have, right? You still have some?
Yeah.
Into a necklace. Now, do you give the head of the queen or the base of the queen? Which piece is on which?
We will be keeping the base and
All right.
be giving the queen on the
Cool.
larger.
So you keep the
Are you
base
making
around a necklace,
friendship
and you made a
necklaces?
friendship
Yeah.
necklace for Sorinth, I'd imagine.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
love that.
Excellent.
Well, I was just gonna say one is dragon shaped, but it's not for Soren. No, kidding. It's totally for Soren.
Sorinth is the best.
So, what is everybody else doing? What are you doing, Narnia?
I want to for dragon scales. Are they very hard? Are they very sharp? Are they
So these are
durable?
black dragon scales. They are they're black and they're a little bit worn.
Okay.
For an adult dragon, the amount of acid that just blatantly gets on their dragon kind of wears away at that. So it's kind of like this matte black scale. And as far as how much you guys get, I would say that you get enough to craft 1 medium piece of whatever or 2 small pieces of whatever. You all and I can talk about what that means. I would say a medium would be like a chest plate of armor or chain or something like that. And then 2 smaller things would be a arm bracer or something. And I want you to be as creative as possible. It doesn't need to be decided right now. You guys basically have a bag of scales.
As I'm scooping up these scales, I'm immediately going to eat a small handful.
Oh, you're gonna eat a small handful of them?
Does anything
that?
happen?
So they're about this big.
So 2.
So you're gonna eat 2. You pop 2 in your mouth like they're Mentos.
Yeah. Does anything happen?
The fresh maker. Mentos. Get at us.
No, actually, I'm going to eat one, and I'm going to give Oki one.
Okay.
We'll both eat one.
Does this just make us level up?
It's a rare candy.
Extremely rare.
Extremely rare
Moment
game.
right now.
Make I don't even know, dude. Come on. Make a Constitution saving throw.
Do you remember my
Yep.
fun fact?
I'm aware.
Okay. Not from today.
You're like, that's pumpkin spice.
I was like, how did that
Well,
squash?
Well, you
these aren't seasonal.
you take a bite and it is acidic
Oh.
as hell, and Oki begins to spit it out immediately, and it kind of is burning the inside of your mouth. Do you swallow this, or do you keep trying to chew on a black dragon scale, or what's
Does it burn like cayenne pepper? Or does it burn like battery acid?
like battery?
Do I notice?
You
that
said the word
he's, like-
acid. It's an acidic dragon.
Well, I mean, sour candies are covered in acid.
Yes,
I love
but
those.
I know
Like,
you.
am I just losing the taste on my tongue, or am I gonna burn a hole in my belly?
I'm offering
Probably
you
first
a
one
and then the
framboise
other.
to wash it down.
Wash down.
With a fray framboise.
There's a lot of things
So
going
that's
on
a
in your
super.
stomach.
That's a tart framboise.
And
And
say pair nicely.
you
Has
You
got
acid
it flavor.
reflux.
you drink and
Before I drink it, I look at Marks. I say, "What's the flavor profile here? Is it seasonal?"
Yeah. It's extremely seasonal, as in raspberries only come out certain times of the Feywild times, and it's yeah.
Perfect. I drink it. I have no idea what raspberries are, but I just pretend. I'm like, oh yeah, raspberries must be seasonal.
Yeah. All right. So, do you like it? First of all,
The battery acid flavored scale or the raspberry framboise? Or
The combination.
you tell me as much as you want to answer that own question is.
It's not
Is
great,
it-
but I'm doing it with purpose.
Okay.
So
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So, you are able to keep it down with the Fey Framboise added.
cool.
So it
And
gives you advantage on charisma checks for the next hour.
that is also the case.
That's an active condition.
Yes.
Am I still holding the feather in my hand?
There's no feather in your hand.
I'm standing there like I'm holding the feather in my hand, just looking at everybody.
All right.
Do I notice that Orla looks a
Do you?
certain way? Perception?
I mean, you've known your friend a fair amount. I'll just leave it up to you.
Work
There's no
associate.
role. You've known your work associate a fair amount. There's no role for that, I don't think. Like, unless you want to roll, feel free. But I think you would notice that something's up with, bubbly Orla.
Okay. I'm gonna walk up to Orla and like kind of nudge her and be like, "You okay?"
I was just here, and then I was somewhere else, and then I'm back here. I don't know what happened. I was holding a feather. I went to the woods. I saw the house. I saw exactly what I saw in the cauldron. I saw, but he wasn't there.
Who wasn't there?
The love of my life. He wasn't there. I don't know what's going on. I feel like I'm going crazy.
I don't think you're going crazy. We just had a big fight. You're probably really tired. You just go sit down and drink some water.
You're right. You're right. Okay. So I'm gonna go sit down for a second. Try to gather my thoughts.
Is Sorenth still around?
Sort is up in the air
Okay.
and kind of like doing a lap.
Did Sorenth take any damage during the fight?
I believe maybe like a little bit.
I'm gonna call to Sorenth.
How do you do that?
Sorenth.
In regular voice.
Yeah.
Anticlimactic.
Hey.
Yes, thaumaturgy, and then in my normal voice, I say, "Hey, buddy."
Hey, buddy.
But there's a small flame that lights on your shoulder.
Hello.
They come from multiple points.
Yeah. So you call for Sorenth, and after some time, Sorenth lands and kind of like a small shake in the ground, and she has this like pep in her step and is able to like move around and is not nearly as bogged down.
Hey,
Pun
Sorenth.
intended.
Saw, you got a little hurt there. I got this healer's kit. You want me to fix you up real quick?
I don't care how hurt I am. I feel amazing. Thank you all so very much.
Okay, come on over here. I'll fix you up anyway. We got 10 uses. We're all fine.
You have 10 uses of.
I have a healer's kit. It's adventuring gear.
If if I may.
Sure.
And I.
Do you know what that does?
Yeah, heals.
It stabilizes like people that are dying.
Oh yeah, that's true.
I know.
I'm gonna use it.
I know.
You use it anyway. All right.
She comes over.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna bring up my healer's kit. Be like, oh shit, that's not. There's one spot of damage. Looks like you're bleeding a little bit. Let me clean the wound with my bandage,
Mhm.
and then I'm gonna like sear it shut with Oki, my bandage kit.
Mhm.
And then I'm gonna turn around and put that blood-soaked bandage in
You're
a
gonna do something weird.
bottle that Dan gave me, the Freight Flamboyant.
Okay.
Nice.
So yeah. Oh,
Real nice.
the long con. All right. Make a sleight of hand check.
I wasn't being sneaky about that.
Okay.
I just did it as I
Never
turned
mind.
around.
Yeah, you're good. So yeah, you do that.
While you're down here, proposition for you there. Cool new big dragon. We're gonna take a little road trip. It's gonna take us a while. What do you say? Oki stays and hangs out with you for a little bit, and you teach him some stuff about being big dragon.
Just well, surely, Oki can better help you, right?
I mean, yeah, I have this really cool bond with him. When I need him, he'll just show up. So if we get in over our heads,
Oh, okay.
we can call
I
him.
see what you're doing.
But like, he doesn't even know how to fly yet, and like you just literally shed scales 700 feet in the air. That's pretty cool.
Well,
I'll give you some jerky.
Oki's a drake, so I'm not sure what he won't be able to fly like I do.
Yeah, whatever you teach him. You seem pretty knowledgeable.
Well, if you insist, I'd be happy to, but I do think he, might be helpful for you, but make a persuasion check.
Persuasion.
Can I help him on this persuasion check by placing a giant, way too large of necklace around and just
Well,
holding it up?
He already has advantage because he's
Feyprimba.
Frimbois.
Triple advantage?
No.
Damn.
Also, why'd you skip double?
I was just going for it.
Good.
13.
Okay. It says, well, I mean, he's more than welcome. I will be heading north out of this wretched place. But, as we did say, our deal stands. And if you do need help with whatever your needs are, then you're more than welcome to ask it of me.
Will you give us a ride north?
Is that all you want?
No.
Okay. I'm afraid, she's like, I'm afraid I don't think I'd be able to carry all of you safely. Like, just be able to scoop you. Like, you tell me if you want to try to figure out the logistics of
We ride on
riding
your
a
back?
What if Orla and I, she has in each one of her claws, and and then Kata and Marxus can be on her back, or she can carry Marxus by his little scruff
Rough.
Yeah, the
in her
nape.
mouth, very gently.
Make a persuasion check.
Can I give her advantage on the persuasion check by still offering the necklace?
Now you can offer the necklace. What do you say when you offer the necklace?
I say nothing. I just lift it.
Hey, here you go.
Simba.
Yeah.
Simba.
Like, what's that movie where he plays the music with the boombox?
Oh,
Creepily,
Say anything.
say anything.
kind of creepy, but
It's romantic. It is.
yeah, a lot of romantic things can also be skewed as super creepy. I think that's where a lot of, murder mysteries come from. To be fair.
I don't know anything about. 12.
Dan's been on a podcast. No, sorry. 12. Let's see how she takes them. Well, where do you plan on going?
that secret place where they experiment on things that you don't want to go to. Probably.
Don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, no. I First, I made this for you.
Oh.
Yeah, for you. I can't.
She drops her head down.
I jump aggressively. I have
I don't
no.
think you've ever jumped.
I have no key points remaining though, but I think I do. And so I try to step of the wind jump, but it just is like a normal jump. So I'm like,
Meteor normal jump is pretty.
yeah, it's pretty aggressive as a monk. But
What's your plus
my current on
stat?
well, 45
just
feet
anything.
walking speed, so jumping is 22 and a half.
Oh, because the step of the wind is half your movement.
But I don't have any key points, so I can't use step of the wind.
Okay. So what is your strength score?
My strength score is 15 plus 2.
Able to get up a little bit.
Okay. So I jump, and I like anime jump where one knee goes up with it, like a Gundam. And and well, literally any anime character, honestly.
But specifically,
But
a giant
specifically,
space robot.
a giant space robot.
Yeah, we're full.
And I throw it up, place it around the neck, and I go, "Hey, you get the crown. I get the opposite." And there are.
She goes, well, allow me. And there's a moment where you see her head drop, and the emblem that you have starts to glow, and then hers starts to glow as well.
Wow.
And she says, you can use this to contact me if and when you do need me for that favor.
Sweet.
Oh, this is the best friendship necklace that ever was.
But so you're not giving us a ride then?
Yes, I can give you a ride. I just don't know where or what. Do you know where it is?
It's outside of DeGray.
Hold on. And I
We
go
are
through
currently
my-
outside of DeGray. Is it here?
Well, everything that's not inside of DeGray is outside of DeGray.
And that's my
point.
Darn it, work associate. Use this, and I pull out. Use this, and I pull out the paper, the scrap paper that had the information on the lab.
Okay.
Hand it to you.
All right.
Make an investigation check.
Well, they're all distracted doing that.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you're really gonna regret giving him a walkie-talkie to your neck.
9.
Yeah, does it work constantly? If I just talk to you, is it?
No,
you
it's
hear me all the time, or
you
is
have
it
to. It can work once a day, and in reality, I'm probably going to remove the enchantment now that you're saying all these things once the favor's called in.
So
Probably
our
what, like
friendship
a
isn't
sending
as
stone
cool?
almost?
Yeah, it's a sentence.
Good morning, Soren. How are you? Every day.
Yeah, but the moment he does that, good morning, and then you guys are going to be like, shit, you know what
We need
Soren.
Soren. Yeah.
Soren!
Doesn't work.
Let's just sleep. Also, I only have 7 hit points, so if anybody has literally any type
Oh,
of
shit.
To crisp high five, but not too crisp.
he was
What was your
watching
investigation check?
Marxus is
Nice.
watching you
See if I
using
have
this
any
healing
other
kit with
spells
just
left.
one solitary tear.
It seems to be a correspondence
You're getting
of
dragon blood.
between two individuals.
Oh, wait. I looked at it. Sorry. Wait, no, it is 9. Never mind. Sorry. Correspondence between two individuals.
Yeah, it seems to be correspondence
Can I make a
regarding
brew with it?
the site, and that's it. It doesn't say where it is. You only say that it would be out of DeGray because when he was looking at it, it was on DeGray stationery, kind of like it had the DG stamp. But yeah, that's
Okay.
what
But didn't somebody say something about it? No?
you simply found.
That's the only...
Yeah, you
Information
found
about it.
information on it in the library / city hall / kind of governmental bureaucratic building of some sort.
Was
Okay.
that where the smoke was coming from?
No, the smoke was coming from a few miles south of the
Just 3 miles away southwest.
southwest. Okay, I was almost all there for what is a month ago, Dan.
Why do you not know your world?
So that was southwest of the rock, so to speak, rock.
okay.
And then you guys went down the rock. You went as you went down the rock near the base of where the rock met the ground, there was a building that was like half destroyed that he went back to investigate. When he did, he found this paperwork in what would be a library / some kind of building. Yeah.
Well, do you guys just want to go to Gray then?
Sure.
Hey, could we just like maybe if we get like an up top view? And I use the sending stone and I go, Soren, can you just fly us around?
That's not the favor, though. That's not the favor we're asking.
There's a
That's all
sigh
that's
from
going
Storm
on.
because she's still on the ground with you.
Yeah.
It says, yes, I can give you a ride to Gray if you'd like. You can't call me on that. And you're hearing it like as if there were like a speaker with a microphone that you're talking into at the same moment. But there's like a slight delay. So it's like a little annoying for you. Yeah.
As this all is going on, I'm gonna
Dragon-based reap.
somberly stand up from where I'm at and just
Dragon
walk
Reaper.
over to Soren and hug her leg.
And you go and you hug her leg and you can't match arms around.
Mhm.
Like a redwood.
But yeah, you're like,
General Soren.
and she like looks down and thanks you.
Wait a second. And that's it.
What time of day is it?
It's hard to tell. There's like a weird dusk and dawn going on, and it's kind of been that way since you entered this fogged area. And the fog has since lifted, but as you notice, like a lot of the vegetation is still twisted and corrupt almost. But the fog has lifted, and a lot of the like sinkhole sludge bog type things have started to like dry up and like rise and become like firm ground. Make a perception check.
19.
As these bog parts start to firm up too, you notice that the ground kind of solidifies and rises, and in what was these sinkholes are bodies and skeletons and different states of decay, but held preserved in these in the bog. And since it is, there's a smell that is kind of starting to accumulate.
Do we all see this?
I mean, also, if Kata wants to relay that information to you, he's more than welcome to.
Yes, I relay that. I'm like, we should probably get out of here. And I think Marcus makes a good point. We should set up camp somewhere, rest, recuperate.
Well, what if we went to DeGray and then like slept in an actual like inn
Like,
so
pay
it
extra
really
for a
gets
soft
them?
bed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've
I
earned
think
it.
we
Yeah.
deserve that.
Yeah, let's do that.
Maybe just a little break first.
Like, in break first.
So while that's happening, I'm
like a
gonna
short
take out.
rest.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
just
take
like a
out
little
my lute and I'm gonna play the same sad strumming that I have heard when I was going into the woods. But this is gonna be my song of rest. So anybody who does hear this can take a 1d8 and then add that to their hit points.
Okay. So not only, if you are taking if you're spending any hit die, you can add a d8 to it, right? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, sweet. Natural 1.
I was like, I rolled a 9. Fuck, it's a D10.
High score, did I break it?
And if you want to roll more than one, you can roll more than one. You don't have to only roll one. You can roll, or you can roll 3 and then be like, that's not enough, and then you can roll 4. But you only have 9 hit dice because you're level 9.
So you can
To
take
spend.
all of your hit dice that you're able to spend.
Yeah. Or you could roll 1 and be like, not good enough. 2, not good enough. 3, not good enough. You know, like.
That's a pretty amount of health.
And it's
And I
plus what?
I more need my spells, but
You do get plus whatever your Constitution score is for each of those die as well. So your +1 is
+4.
+4.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sick.
Seek, man. Seek.
Can I investigate some of the bodies while other folks are resting?
Yeah. Make an investigation check. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
That makes up for that other one.
Yeah. it does.
So you see some of the bodies, and some are straight skeletons and in bad form. Others are decaying flesh that is now starting to rot a little bit more aggressively than it was when it was in the bog. Some of them look rather fresh, for the sake of it. And as you are investigating them, some look like random farmers. You do find a small group that have shields pinned on their lapels, and then just a few are the rangers that would be a part of the Drillin Archers Lodge.
Do the shield hands or the rangers have any weapons or money on their bodies?
You find, yeah, so yeah. You find rolled really well. You find what amounts to 120 gold.
Oh,
Nice.
And you find some normal equipment. You don't seem to see anything that is magic or anything like that, or at least that you would be able to discern from magic. But there's a few daggers, there's like short swords, some bows. You know, if you want to pick these things up from them, you can, but
I'll grab a couple daggers.
yeah, okay. So add 2 daggers to your inventory. Is there anybody else that would like to do it?
I lost any. I lost some hit points, but not much. I'm fine. No.
No.
So as the end of the hour hits, and you are investigating these instead of taking your rest, you, with your passive perception, what is it? 17 or something crazy?
Yeah.
I was making sure it was, I forgot if it was crazy or if it was
Mine's also 17.
Mine's 18.
18.
Dang.
You guys swear you think you saw some of these bodies move.
I start stabbing him in the head.
Where's Sorenth? We need to. Everybody get up. We need to get out of
Go
here.
around,
Double tap.
It's time to go.
stabbing
time
him
to
with a dagger.
I do a big old slow cat stretch.
No, with axe.
Uh,
But like
chopping it.
like throwing it from a foot away, so I don't have to get real close to it.
Oh. Start taking out some. You had a natural 20 on your investigation.
Mm-hmm.
There were those shields too, if you wanted to pick them up. That were on somebody's lapel.
Oh, yeah. I'll take those.
Okay.
Those will come in handy. Okay.
So
Yeah. Yep.
your natural 20 might deserve a little bit of,
Thank you.
hey, there's that. I mentioned that. And what are you guys doing?
Time to boogie.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're Soren.
Back in the-
Let's get out of here.
I can call her.
No, not today. You already
Isn't
used
she
it today.
around?
Oh, several
She
months of
took
meetings.
off as you guys
Yeah.
were resting. She's not going to rest
She
any.
cool.
Did a lap. And you guys needed Soren. She comes back after. I assume you communicated that with her.
We thaumaturgy, and I just did a real loud whistle. So I can't do it for it, but that kind of.
That one. So you real loud whistle, and after some time, Sorenth comes by, and you see crawling out of the bog parts, and a top half of a person begins crawling out of the bog towards you. And Sorenth is like, yes, we should go.
Yeah.
And
Well, what if they need help?
Oh,
No,
he
they
leans
don't.
down her left shoulder, and allows, I think you two are riding on top. And
Our
she's gonna
claws.
grab
They're
the snatch.
We're in their claws.
He's scruffed.
You're in the claws, and they're on top.
Yeah.
No, he's neck scruffed.
Yeah. I just offered them the improvement.
In her mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was.
However you guys
Yeah.
want.
However, she's comfortable carrying.
Yes,
it.
true.
So you're riding the dragon.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate it, but I also love it. Cause I'm like, look at this.
Well, they're too
Dragon.
small, so we can just be like
Stupid,
in, like
being
a
up here in the
cage,
sky,
you
being
know
able
what I
to
mean?
fly
Like,
and
in her
super
little-
fancy, nice out. So you guys take off with Sorinth, and as you can see, as you are taking off, you see more and more of these bodies kind of come to life and crawl about in the swamp. And it's a short flight from takeoff to landing. Will probably be about hour 15 minutes. And
Clear skies.
yeah, clear skies, and the temperature in DeGray is 63 degrees. So you guys take off and land, and just outside of DeGray, you kind of see there's like some fields and some forests around DeGray, and they seem much more lush and vibrant and full of life and less of death and decay. And you have Sorth lands out in these outskirts forests for you and drops you off. Is there anything you'd like to say or do with Sorth before they leave? She leaves.
I'm gonna thank Soren for helping us. I'm also gonna ask Sorenth if she knows much about what was the lady's name that we starts with an S that we just fought?
Stisha.
The Stisha.
Mhm.
I'm gonna ask her if she knows anything about her sister.
She goes, well, the Stisha's sister was the Duchess of Adoring Dream, and she hated her, but she wasn't allowed in this realm. She had her own plane that she was able to control, and she often would mention that her sister would be able to slip in and out as people were unconscious, but she was the guardian. I was the guardian of fending her off and preventing the death and decay from emerging. And now I'm free, and Lestisha is weakened, and I'd imagine there may be some repercussions of that.
Can I confide in you in something?
If you'd like.
After the battle, like I just had a really, really weird vision. And I was taken to a different place, and then all of a sudden I was right back to where I was. And it was very weird. Do you think that was her sister? Like, because she's weakened? Like,
Well, did it seem out of this world? Did it seem otherworldly?
not necessarily. But I was
Was it a swamp?
no. I was in the woods, and there was a cottage, and I had seen this place before in another vision, and
I would imagine that. Well, the last time you saw this, were you asleep?
I was looking into a cauldron.
Was it like a normal cauldron?
No,
Oh, okay.
it's like a vision scrying cauldron.
Then you may have seen her realm from that cauldron, and you may have seen that realm now that the Stisha isn't here to protect this plane.
Was it bad that
wary.
we killed the Stisha?
Well, while she has her bargains
At
and
least
her
we
ways,
killed her.
and I greatly appreciate all that you did, there was a sense of guardianship and protection that the Stisha had. And now that is gone. And I fear what may come next is, or could be, frightening.
Uh-oh.
Again, you have our piece of game shared between us. If you need me and want to call upon that favor, please let me know. But until then, I will be in the north, dealing with what I can. And takes off. She'll take Oki with her. You said that. You wanted that to be the case. So Oki kind of looks at you, puppy dog eyed, as he's just picked up like a cow and just kind of dangling there, getting flown away.
I'm just waiting at him.
Bye, Oki.
You swear you see a claw lift up for a moment.
Hope you find your dad.
So, you are currently in a wooded area, and some distance off, you can notice that there are a number of stumps. And you're just probably outside of what is a logging operation of some sort. And off to the northeast is the city of DeGray. You can see the anchor and chain leading up to the floating Isle of Finis up in the sky. And leads down, and you can't quite see the city wall just yet, but it's, despite there being some lumber operation, there's still dense trees around. But you can tell you're close. You're probably less than a day's walk away.
We should probably set up
So,
camp.
yeah.
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 Mhm.
Start making a fire. Use my smith's tools to powder a dragon scale or two.
Okay.
Smart.
Sure. You are able to do that and smash them up. We'll say you have 2 uses of powdered dragon scale.
I'm gonna give one to Marxus.
A little pouch or something, or a vial.
I'm gonna put it in his. I don't know what he's gonna put it. I just pour it into his hand.
Put it into one of my bottles.
And then the other one, I'm gonna snort.
Right now?
Yeah.
Okay. So you do a line of powdered dragon scale.
How's that go?
Sorry, kids. Make a Constitution saving throw for me, is how that goes.
Oh, like 12.
It doesn't go well.
Oh.
You see immediately Kata's right eye is beet red.
Oh
and
my
swollen.
god.
And you see this green spreading through his veins up his right eye. And we're gonna say you're gonna take 6 points of acid damage. That will be at the end of your rest. You're gonna maintain that. You can't rest right now. Oh, it's gone.
So sleep it off.
Yeah. So
So I wake up 6 points.
6 points. 6 points lower, basically.
That's fair.
Everybody does a long rest. Is there anything else anybody else would like to do during their long rest?
We do my next proficiency roll.
I want to sit with that caged power that I have
Okay,
for a second.
cool. So you take a moment and kind of sit and check it out. Roll an Arcana check for me.
Okay. I know.
I still have 10 for proficient with Smith's tools.
I think so, yeah.
My
Oh, yeah.
Arcana's
You want to
plus
use that.
10.
Roll a d10.
So I have 13.
What'd you get?
9.
9. All right. So next time it'll be a 1 and 2. Cool. 13. Again, you would imagine that you guys used this you've collected something in it, right?
What do you mean? This is the first time that I've ever used that cage.
You
cage
used the
thing.
cage
Yeah.
that you already had, and you harnessed that
Yes.
from it. So in this cage, you've noticed, and it is very much like, in my mind's eye, is like this swirl, like this ornate kind of filigree style ball cage that doesn't really have a clasp to open or anything like that, and it very much looks like the Guardians of the Galaxy ball. But inside, you can see this swirling green energy, and it seems to be that there is a core to it that wisps around and leaves a trail. You notice that it holds some form of life force, and with a 13, it seems stable in this.
Okay.
You don't know exactly how you could use this at the time,
Okay.
but depending on depending on creativity, there may be some uses for it somehow. Cool.
That's it.
Access, you good?
Yeah, all good.
All right, I kind of want to tinker with these new boots and see if with the two daggers, the spare ones that I picked up, I can do something where like I can like step on my heel just so, and like a sneaky dagger will shoot out of the toes and like into somebody's leg.
Yeah.
Sure. Roll an intelligence check
That is savage.
plus your Tinker Tools modifier, which is your +4 basically.
Okay.
So whatever normal intelligence is plus, and then +4 on top of it.
Okay. 12.
12. You're able to fashion it in there. It seems to, at the moment, like it's spring-loaded, but yeah, that happened. But it doesn't. I have roll tables for this. Hold on. It doesn't seem. It makes a click when you step.
Like a noticeable click. Like every time I step, it's like click, 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 click.
Or like cowboy spurs.
It's not super noticeable,
Walk in.
but like if you had these on and you're trying to be stealthy, you roll a disadvantage. You can try to fix it later,
All right, I'll try and fix it
but
later.
rolling a 12,
Yeah.
trying to install some spy shoes into what are already enchanted items.
Shoot.
I'm rusty on my tinkering.
It's cool.
too.
You got some tinkering to get to.
All right.
So yeah.
Okay.
Last thing I want to do is I want to extract the rag and leave behind just the blood in that vial.
You wring out a rag. Extract.
Yeah. How many servings?
Servings?
Go ahead, internet, and do yourself a favor and Google dragon's blood. If it's, I'll share with the group what dragon's blood is, because I imagine you're gonna want me to roll to see how many servings I get, and I want some help. It's meth.
Oh.
To you?
Or
to everybody. Okay.
I'll read you the.
Where's this from?
Dragon's blood is a potent, highly
Yeah.
addictive stimulant. In addition to inducing euphoria, it can enhance spellcasting ability or temporarily imbue a user with the ability to cast sorcerer spells. The effects are potentially dangerous and always unpredictable. It isn't something a player character should want to use, and you're more likely to interfere with a smuggler or deal with an
that's
addict who is accidentally casting fireballs in a crowded street.
Okay.
The effects are up to you, but it's meth.
Interesting.
I don't know if that equates to meth. I've never done meth, but
More like
I have
bath
eaten,
salts.
E.
I feel like none of those things are actually giving anybody magic fireball powers. Just want to point that out.
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah, you,
Well, but DCP, you might think.
you share
True.
this with the team.
Yeah.
Can I?
No.
Nope.
No, I want to brew. I want to brew with it. I think it'd be
Oh.
great.
Actually, I did have that thought, and I think at some point we should try and use one of the servings to make
Yeah.
a like poison brew for somebody.
That's actually
I don't
good.
think we
Yeah.
should ever
Delicious.
ingest
really-
this substance,
But we
but
make sure that we you know put a little thing on the bottle so we
Small and
know
confident.
exactly. Yeah.
Make a medicine check for me. And this is going to be a determining factor of how many servings you get.
because we're all working as a team in our RV doing this.
How, if you're asking for help, I'm going to need to hear how people help you.
Okay, so Marxus is known for extracting things because he does brewing, so he knows how to.
I'm specifically using some of my brewer's tools to help titrate out some of the.
You can roll
bad-
medicine check at an advantage.
Okay.
Because you have some equipment other than I'm going to wring out this rag into a small, tiny cup.
Can I help him and use my gloves? And do they get powered up by any chance?
power?
Perhaps they take on poison, since dragon's blood is technically a poison.
If you want to try to do this, but it's probably going to absorb some of your servings.
No, definitely not.
Oh, 14.
14. Okay.
It's not bad. 75%.
Anybody else?
Helping?
I'm holding the bottle because I have a
Okay.
steady
No.
hand.
What is anybody else doing for their long rest before we?
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Okay.
alrighty.
Number one.
Number one surgeon. Steady hand.
All right. Anything else?
Mistake.
There was a Easter egg in. I showed you that in Cyberpunk 2077 that you rescued a surgeon
Yep.
who killed the.
Heart surgeon
No.
kills the head of the Yakuza.
Yeah.
Heart
Cool.
surgeon number one.
Anything else for your long rest? All right. Cool. Dan. And that's where we're going to take a break.
Good.
So, thank you all very much for catching our first half. Please stick
That was
around.
fast.
We will be back here in about, we'll call it, it's 3:03 right now. Our time, we'll call it, what do you guys want to say? 3:13? 10
Yeah.
minutes?
Yeah.
Cool.
10
We'll be
minutes.
back here in 10 minutes. Thank you very much, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.
Also, one of Scott's.
Hey, and welcome back. This is the mic high enough? Yeah, cool. All right. Welcome back. My name's AJ, your friendly neighborhood DM. We are Roll for Revelry, and we are playing some D&D. So, the group just took a long rest right outside of the city of DeGray, as they were dropped off by their friend, a silver dragon. Until then, or since then, what is everybody doing after their long rest?
Okay. What's our plan for when we get to DeGray?
You gotta find out about this laboratory, right? That sounds kind of like the cool thing to do.
Yeah. Does someone have a map?
Not of DeGray, but we have like the world map.
Have I been to DeGray before? I think that I have.
Then you have.
Yes.
I would allow it. If
Okay.
you think you have, then you are I would say that you've probably been to a majority of the anchors and a majority of the isle. At least 2 of each. We'll say that for the sake of it, you have not been to Keston. You have not been to... I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll let you choose. It's either Aaron or Malone.
Malone.
Cool. So you have not been to Malone, and you have not been to Keston. Malone is a isle.
Okay.
Keston is an anchor.
Okay.
Cool. So you are on the outskirts of DeGray. You can see through some of the parts of this logging operation that you've kind of landed next to. There is some logging equipment, and then additionally, you can see through, there's a few fields and the wall of the city of DeGray as you approach from the south east. You're going northwest. It is a coastal city. Kind of has a small little bay area, and then the larger part of the city kind of revolves around that, with the anchor of the chains sticking out from the earth and into the sky of Finis above you.
Right. How do we find this place?
Well, it was just what did that piece of paper say? You still have it, right? It was just like information on it. Didn't have an address or anything.
No.
Did it have any
Okay.
kind of like stamp, like specific like marking on there that would set itself apart? Do you know?
Maybe we find like is there like an academy or a university or anything around, or like the arcane blacksmith or anything like that, like somebody who like need to do sciencey things. Maybe we find something like that. Can I do a quick investigate? Is there like, as we're walking into town,
You guys are walking into town, just to clarify.
Yes.
All right, cool. So you walk up and you see a small, kind of very, very similar in the same setup as Bryn had. Is like there's like a small market outside of the wall, and it is usually for like anybody that is or does need to have any form of commerce on a very light scale outside the city. Not necessarily have to go into you don't have to go into the big city. You don't have to drive downtown, deal with parking, but you can simply get some things, trade some things, and trade, and that kind of opens up that. So there's one of those small markets, and as you head in, there's the coast off to your right or your east, heading north into what is known as the Cherry Way District.
Cherry Way.
The first person I see, I just say, "Hey, where's the laboratory?"
I don't know what laboratory. What are you laboratory? I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, with the experiments.
I I feel like that would be done in a laboratory, and I still don't know what you're talking about.
Okay,
Is there a
walk away.
I apologize for my friend. He just is.
Carrying something. Oh,
I like what you're carrying. What is that?
fucker.
It's really cool. Is that like a bundle of sticks? Are you like the,
Exactly.
Are you the local fire starter?
Nope. I feel like that you shouldn't have that. That shouldn't be a local thing. Everybody else should be able to make their own fire, but not that. No,
Not
these
me,
are
we can't.
these are reeds from the coast.
Oh. Oh.
Yep.
Do they glow? Do they go on woodwinds?
And they what?
No, not those reeds.
Equally confused, and you see over his shoulder is slung basically like what looks like super thick cattails.
It's terrifying for Marcelus.
Yeah,
Bless
but the plant.
Ah,
And he seems to be harvest a handful of them. There's a small sickle on his hip, and is in very traditional commoner's garbs of just kind of like tunic pant kind of thing. I don't know what commoner people look like in our world. So
as I see they're still talking to Double Bag, I go, hey, you want to join our army?
there was no. I mean,
Okay,
the
I walk
draft
away again.
ended. So
Let's walk away again.
Again, my apologies. He is very direct, and also a little confused most days.
yeah, I get that.
Yeah. I do have one question for you though, if you have time.
I mean, just yeah,
Sharing
sure.
all those tales looks great. Is there like an area of higher learning around here, or perhaps a board that says you are here on it anywhere?
I mean, if you want to break down to the city, I guess I can. You ever not around from here? I can tell you what's going on.
Yeah, we're super new.
Okay. So, break down to the city.
Yes.
He goes, yeah, so there's the Cherry Way. North of that, you got Elm Gate. A lot of logging families, a lot of logging people around. As you can see, you guys came from. I assume you saw it. You passed through it. It's not like you guys just fucking appeared from the sky or something. So, yeah, there's a bunch of logging.
Notice.
It's a bunch of logging operations around this parts. There's a little bit of trade that comes in from the waterways and the river. So we've got Elm Gate, Cherry Way. There's the harbor. There's the old harbor area, which you don't want to go to. There's the Hay Crown area, which is the small eastern outpost. It's on the opposite side. Just north of here is Forest Point. That's the western side. It's kind of like outpost travelers. There's a few inns. It's outside of the city walls, a little bit inside of the city walls. Those kinds of districts. We got the Castle Ward. Obviously, sends you up to Finis, and holds all the Calda's offices and everything, and the residents. And then you've got the biggest area. It's called Lost Village. Largest district. It's dedicated to those that are lost in the emergence. Much of the population does not deal with the lumber industry in that area, but you can find churches there, you can find temples, there's a bunch of shield hands, outposts, inns, taverns, shops, that kind of place. It's a little bit less lumber oriented. As myself, that's usually where I head to if I'm not just doing outpost trading on the outskirts. I'm not really into the lumber thing, but these cattails can help us out, start helping us build our storage shed for the winter. Sure. It is I think it's early fall for you guys too. So it's getting a little cooler as you're further up north. Not cold yet, but Michigan November-ish.
Thank goodness.
Pre or
Where-
post global warming?
No, last November. Because I don't remember before that, so.
85 and sunny, baby.
You're so helpful. Here's 1 silver for also putting up with my friend here, but being so helpful. I appreciate it.
I come back and I say, where's the meat man in this area?
A meat man?
Yeah, it's a seasonal meat rotisserie.
He's looking for a jerky outlet or maybe a meat tornado of sorts.
I don't.
there anyone that has a conical meat thing that's spinning around in a warming box?
And it has a bunch of meat spinning in the air in a tornado?
Well, it looks like a tornado. You know, you've seen a tornado, sure, right?
Yeah, they're not good, and you made it full of meat?
They're made out of meat, and according to him, they're delicious.
It's like when the cow's flying around in the sky, though, right?
Well, that's a pretty simplistic way to look at it. But
Yeah,
you
it's
could
like
make
the
a
only way to
sandwich
look
out
at
of
it. It's a tornado full of meat.
You could make a sandwich out of it, though. Like
I
like
guess, and
maybe
you
a
gotta
vendor-
cook it or something.
Is there maybe a vendor area where like people go and get like a nice lunch, and if you're
Yeah,
vegetarian,
you can
get
go
a
get
full
lunch.
apple?
Inside, or you can get lunch, you know, they got lunch stalls, but I don't know what you're talking about, a meat tornado.
I like to think
Anybody
that
do
at this point
meats?
he turns around and goes, "Yeah, see the guy right there with the shawarma rotisserie."
Yeah.
Points at the.
He's unaware of shawarma rotisserie.
Ah,
Although, you're giving him some ideas right now, so.
Excuse me, sir.
okay.
Oh, I didn't know you guys had little ones.
Burning
But,
cat
oh,
noses.
I'm sorry. Hey, yeah,
Hi.
hi.
So why wouldn't anyone want to go to that one district that you were referring to?
I believe you call
Well-
it Old Harbor.
It used to be all the harbor district, and then certain parts of the harbor district kind of fell into some gangs and some crime, and now, you know, weird stuff has been happening around there. So
Like what kind of weird stuff?
occasionally people go to the district and don't really come back, but I think it's a little bit more of guys go there and find a new gal and they skip out on their old lady, and you know, it's kind of has some less than above ground operations going on. You know, and I get it. There's temptation, like the rest of the world, but you know, you don't want to, you know, go there permanently and start gambling your heart's desire, or you know, drinking till whenever and meeting somebody new and dipping out, and
Sure.
it's a common phrase, just dipping out to Gray.
But he doesn't know meat
What?
tornado.
What are some of the organizations that are in that area? I think you referred to them as gangs.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, there's the Morningfall Gang, and that's really it who runs those operations. You don't want to mess with them.
Is that how it's always been, or were there other folks there?
I mean, before it was just the harbor.
Okay.
Like, it was just like a part of the harbor, and it's right along the riverside. Anybody that would be shipping things, you know, up the river to the north, which there isn't really a lot up there. There's a few villages and such, but basically we would load up on the river, ship it out towards the harbor. Harbor gets in and out, but me and my family, we live in a small cottage out this way, and you know, he points towards the coast a little further down, but
Thank you. We don't really like using the G word. People have called us the G word before, and we don't really like it. We are boat folk.
what? I'm sorry, did I offend you? What is? I don't know what I said wrong.
Oh, the gangs. We don't really like that word.
I didn't. Did I call you guys a gang?
No, I don't think anybody.
I don't think
called
you
us a
guys-
gang.
AJ has called you a gang a number of times. If you guys
We're
really don't
we're-
like that, we can talk about that above game at another time. But yeah, no, I don't.
I'm not a gang. We're work associates.
Oh yeah, so what do you all do?
We adventure and we save lives.
Oh, so you shield hands.
No, we don't really like the S word.
How many words do you like?
Only a
You've
few.
cut out like
Meat jerky.
you've cut out 1/13 of the
Shovel.
alphabet.
Hole.
Well,
Interrogate.
Wait, what are you talking about? Interrogate.
We don't
Do you
interrogate.
guys know what words I like? Would you interrogate me now?
Me?
No.
you're just gonna want to say no, and I give him another silver and say thank you again so much.
Yeah, no,
You're gonna want to leave him alone because he's in the I word mood right now, and it just means he's gonna be in the D word mood. Uh-oh. Pretty soon here. Digging. And we don't like doing that in cities. That's enough information for you, though, kind sir.
How much would it cost you to set up a meat tornado?
I'm not sure. I'm not like a magic-y guy. I don't know if I can just.
You know how to cook?
Yeah.
You give him 3 gold, and I say, next time we come through here, you figure out meat tornado stand.
Meat tornado stand.
Then I walk away.
He is going to roll an intelligence check. Rolled a 5, so he's like, all right. And he puts the 3 gold in his pocket, along with the 2 silver. And I trust you guys are keeping track of your money because I don't want to do it, and cheating at D&D is dumb.
I keep track of it so well that I thought I had at one point 35 silver.
Oh, I need to
and
talk to you guys about
platinum.
that, by the way.
So sweet, I was rich.
Cool.
I spent it all on drink.
All right. Are you guys good?
Yeah.
Do you need meat tornado? All right.
I'm seed funding. I'm still a venture capitalist.
Oh, you guys, that kind of
Like, I'm telling
not
you,
adventuring group. You don't like go
Adventure
attack
capitalists.
people. Adventure capitalists. Yeah.
Yeah.
God,
See,
and you guys came up with boat folk, and you could have done adventure capitalists or
To be fair, the internet approved both folks.
they voted for it.
at like a
They voted for it.
All 2 of the
They-
subscribers at that point.
yeah, right. Okay, yeah. Did you say boat folk to him?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, you guys are boat folk. Cool. Well,
Yeah.
boat folk, venture capitalists. Good to know.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well,
If anyone-
thanks. I'll figure out meat tornado, I guess. My wife will be happy. Your kids will be great. You know, like 3 gold is it's like 3 days work for free.
Nice.
So you gotta make meat tornadoes. It's not free.
Yeah, no, I mean like I'll figure it out, but like this is definitely helpful. What kind of meat?
It's a nice seasonal fall blend. Maybe like a
Fall blend?
What's like the more common meat that's here?
I mean, we raise. I guess you raise alpaca, goat, and apparently horse, and a number of other things. I don't raise them for slaughter. I don't know. It's up to you too. Like,
No,
you
you
guys
slaughter
slaughter.
Tony's?
Not
No.
Tony.
Nah, especially not Tony.
yeah.
Well,
He's
pockets
great.
and goats and potatoes and onions and yams.
Delicious.
Glad someone's keeping track. So he's like, yeah. Well, you know, we have sheep up here, goat, you know, occasionally a pig, but some bird. You said turkey. You know, turkey.
Do a sheep or a goat.
Okay.
Yeah, and then take cuts of them, and you'll put them on a sword, and then you'll stack them all up, you know, and then
What does this have to do
Put
with
it
a
on there.
tornado?
no, you know, you and then you have heat source from the bottom sides, you know, and then as you trim it away, it'll look like a tornado.
If you can pull off meat tornado with 3 gold and get a viable product, I'll give you 10 more gold for 2 gold per month in royalties.
Oh, okay.
We'll see you in a couple of days.
Yeah. So you set up a venture capitalist contract of sorts.
Yeah, how sweet it would be if we just started making money off these meat tornado people.
Meet
much gold.
tornado people. Ugh. They're like Taz, but
Ugh,
they're just meat running.
Terrifying.
So what are you guys doing?
Walking away.
What are we doing?
So he had said that there's the Cherry Way, there's Elmgate, there's Old Harbor, which definitely don't want to go to. Sounds like we should go to.
I
The
know you
Lost
say
Village.
that.
Lost Village seems to be like the gathering place of a lot. Sorry, what were you saying?
Well, I know you say that. I felt them. Obviously, when he said we shouldn't go there, immediately, like, we should go there. Then, asking him about it, it doesn't seem like that's where the laboratory would be.
But they probably know where the laboratory is.
True.
Maybe we should go around town into the main area first and get. I mean, this guy didn't even know what a meat tornado was, so how do we really trust him about where to go and not to go? It's like feel it out a little bit and then head there.
Yeah, maybe.
'Cause I
we
agree.
go
I think we
talk
should
to
head
the,
there.
We
we
should. We should probably talk to the Calda too and let her know. Well, I'm assuming it's a her. Maybe it's a him. Maybe it's a they. We should let the Calda know about the zombie horde that's probably
Head this way.
coming from the swamp.
What if they think that we did it?
Oh, we did.
Oh,
Kind of
we
did.
did.
well, we can say, so this is where like that stealthy kind of like keeping like less is more. So like the less information we give is
That makes no sense. No, watch. And
No,
I eat
I'm
a piece of
with-
jerky. I'm like, see, now I have less.
I'm
and
with Kate
I
on
know
this one.
more.
That doesn't make sense.
but your stomach is more full. So you have less jerky, but you're more full.
No, I'm still very
Less
hungry.
is more.
Morphle?
But you're more full than you were before the jerky.
No, he's Kata.
So I think
It's a good
if we
character.
wanted to and we don't have to, but I think it would probably be the right thing to do to alert the city that the zombies may be coming. We could put on these shield hand pins and pretend that we are shield hands and not use our name,
What's our name we're going to use then?
adventure capitalists, and then
Cool.
tell them that in our adventures we saw a zombie horde that was too powerful, so we didn't try and do anything to it, and that wasn't our mission anyway, so then we left, and we just wanted to alert the...
I'm going to let you do the talking because you sound pretty confident on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna grab the pin and put it on, and then immediately start acting like an idiot.
Cool.
I'm a shield hand.
You guys, with your
I'm
passive
also going to give
investigation,
her a Fae Brambois.
will realize
Before.
your shields are tin shields as you received before, but the level 3 embossed on it, and a small little bit of silver. Obviously, it wouldn't be gilded.
Plate.
So yeah, but like you could say gold plated, but there's not like a silver word for silver gilded. Silvid.
Oh, because guild is gold.
Yeah.
That's gift.
Yeah.
Silver plated?
It has like
Bard.
a silver, like the frame of the shield is silvered.
Silvered.
Yeah, that's the word. Silvered. Golded.
Gilded is gilded.
Golded.
Silver gilt.
Gilded silver.
Because gilt is
Gilded
G-I-L.
silver.
Cool. All right. Whatever. What are you guys doing, Gilversolds?
Also, group real quick. I know I'm a shield hand, so I don't know these things because I'm the worst.
You don't have to put the shield hand on pin yet. It's the
Too
pin
bad.
on yet.
It's already on.
Okay.
I slowly start taking mine off.
Are we still recruiting warriors?
Yeah.
Okay, so we should keep our eyes open for people who are not terrible warriors.
Yes.
Yeah. Is there a fighting pit?
I don't know.
Didn't say anything about that. We should have asked him specifically if there was a fighting.
How about Marxist and I go get a beer while you guys talk to the Calda? I feel like we're not going to help in this scenario.
Okay.
That's
Fine.
Yeah, and if you want, you can say that you lost some of your fellow level 3 shield hands. Here you go.
Okay.
And maybe they'll like have extra guilt for you.
They'll be
Do
gilded.
you feel good about taking him to a bar?
No, absolutely not. But I feel worse about taking him into the Calda.
I guess you could say he feels more full about it.
Yeah, well, we do less now.
I'm just gonna turn and walk away from them.
Okay.
That's the most DM face.
That was a bad one too.
Yeah, man.
There hasn't been a good one of those in a while. So yeah.
As soon as we kind of start to split, I look at Marxist and I'm like, yeah, we're going to go find meat before we find beer.
Yeah, you gotta eat before you drink. Just get all.
Do we need to set a location meetup point or place?
Yeah.
Time?
We should meet at the
Hours.
lab. Well, we don't know where that is.
Wherever we are right now while we're having this discussion, I will meet back here in 2 hours.
From where we're
We'll
standing.
say you
can we
are
say,
just inside the Cherry Gate.
Can we say like a restaurant or
Cherry Gate.
Just taverns.
Can I look around and do we see like a first tab?
Or-
Like, is there a tavern like very
Or
close
inn.
by?
I'm sorry, Cherry Way. It's the
Cherry
only
Way.
gate.
Is there a
It's what the module says.
is there a what's the first tavern that I see in Cherry Way?
You see the Hickory Inn.
So we'll meet outside of the Hickory Inn.
Got it.
Cool. Hang out at the Hick.
Let's go find some meat.
Yes, meat.
Where do you go to? Or
We're
what-
just
what-
gonna go walk around.
Wander.
Where are we going?
while you're strolling, where are you going?
I think Orla's coming with me.
Oh yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So we're gonna go to where the Calda is.
So you guys head to the castle ward.
Yes.
You make your way through the cherry gate. You see the very all these anchors are built very similarly. There's a interior wall that isn't necessarily a wall, but kind of like a high fence that's like tight fence pokies at the top. You can't just shouldn't just be going in, but there is an entrance of it. As you make your way around the fence area, you enter the castle ward, and a series of guards at the front of the gate ask you, what is your purpose? Can we help you?
Before getting to the gate, I had given Orla the shield hand pin to put on.
Oh, okay.
So point to the pin.
Normally you can enter through the shield hand entrance, but
Oh, okay.
yeah, it's we'll let you in. Oh, they just kind of let you in.
We should probably disguise ourselves real quick. Just in case. So we're gonna duck in an alley, and
You guys are in the shield, and you're in the castle ward right now. So there is a large building
okay.
in front and some grassway as you've entered in the interior gates and
So there's
past
no
guards already.
Okay. All right. Well. All right. We're in
You
it
can
now.
you can change your appearance and try to do that if you want, but you're gonna need to find a specific.
All right.
area
I think
in
we'll be
the-
all right.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Narnip's feeling really anxious about this. It's fine.
It'll be okay.
It's fine. Okay. I'll just disguise after, and then nobody will know. Okay.
Yes.
And then I'll just
All
live with that disguise
Yep.
forever.
No, it's fine. That's just who I
We'll
am
be
now. Okay. All right.
Me now.
Okay. All right. Call
Let's
this
head in.
office.
Yeah.
So you head into this kind of lavish, like Victorian-looking building, and there's a number of windows on the walls, and has a number of individuals you can kind of see in it. It's very bureaucratic, and I imagine it as like, I don't know the English.
Buckingham Palace.
No.
Parliament.
Nope.
Down,
Big
one down
Ben.
away.
Downtown.
I'm sorry, the rest of the world.
And we've been watching Ted Lasso. Like
It would be,
shit.
What are you trying to say?
I don't know what I'm trying to
No.
say.
Downton
everything.
Abbey.
No.
The place where the parliament works?
Yeah, it would be like where the
Uh,
what is their
Prime Minister.
yes, where the
Oh.
prime minister works.
10 Downing Street.
That's
Downing
where
Street.
he lives.
oh, Downing Street is also though where he works.
Is that?
Where the whole
Okay.
cabinet
It's
works.
like the White
cabinet
House.
ministers.
Yeah. Okay, that's what I was
I thought
saying.
they were separate.
Downing Street.
Very much that is what I imagine. So it is so.
Yeah.
So.
Make it so.
It's the Capitol building.
Yes.
Okay.
Less.
So you should use the
Less
American
white.
version.
I guess I could. I just wanted it to be less less white and less pretentious.
You go through
I
the
guess.
go through the
So you went with England?
Okay. Whatever.
you go through the
Sorry.
decades. You get to the Capitol.
Whatever. So
Palace
you
of Westminster.
yes, that sure.
Wow, that's big.
So
That's awesome.
you walk into a very
Watch
bureaucratic
Love Actually.
building with a number of windows, and it is large. And from behind the building, you can see these enormous chains, as you know, are made of adamantine and connected to one another, and then up to Finis, the floating island in the sky.
Do we go up there? Wasn't the lab like in part of the floating like islands?
Maybe we can like ask the call to like try and like get some more information out of them about the lab.
We should probably say we were hired.
We were hired by
Maybe we say it's top secret. Shield hand business. Our party does not want to be named of who hired us.
It was an
It
anonymous
was an anonymous
benefactor.
benefactor.
And we have this note from the lab
Mm-hmm.
that we're supposed to deliver to them.
Mm-hmm. I love it.
Okay. It's secret information.
Yes.
Okay.
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 As you enter the hall, you see a small circular desk with a young man behind, and says, "Yes, can I help you?"
Yes, we're looking for the laboratory.
What?
The lab.
What laboratory?
We're requesting a meeting with the Calda.
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Your guys' plan, the first thing. I love it. Yes, if you would mind waiting for a moment, and I'm sure I can free him up for you for a moment. Just
Thank you.
give me one second.
Thank you.
We're going to shift over to these two.
Yeah.
In their
Oh, dear God. Fuck that.
find his laboratory, please.
I should have said lab. What is it?
Laboratory.
Laboratory.
Laboratory is just a bathroom.
No, I know, but I should have corrected myself, like to make it
That would've
be
been
like,
good.
yeah, I know. Oh my God.
Mark says, those gloves you have, do you have poison in them yet?
Let me take a look. I have,
In a book.
You do.
I have acid, fire, and poison.
Cool.
Yeah. As I look at them, I go, yes.
In our free time here, I think most importantly we should find some meat. Secondly, I think we should find a beer.
Yes.
But then
these
I
are
would like
great
to find
ideas.
an inn that we could secure lodging for our group.
Yeah.
Set up our own mad lab while the other two are away.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Mad Lab.
And
Is that
word
where we
out.
like call it a different thing all the time? Come up with adjectives? Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
Do we see any meat?
There are a number of street food stalls around.
What about that one?
Perfect.
Meat.
We buy it all.
Okay.
At all?
Yeah.
A lot of meat. Look at how much he has.
How much does he have?
He has
He's a dwarf. He's got a lot of meat.
20 gold worth of meat.
Yeah, I can afford that. But how do we carry it all?
He's a dwarf?
Huh?
It's a dwarf?
Sure.
You said it was a dwarf?
Yeah, look at it. Not halfling, he's a dwarf. He's got a beard.
Dwarf.
Speak
Uh,
nicer.
How would we carry all the meat if we bought it all?
I mean, do you have a bag? Or a satchel?
And I pull off
Or a European man purse?
a thing off the patch. There we go, off my robe. That is the sack.
Your second sack patch.
Yep.
Okay.
And there were 2 sacks on it, right? Or
There
no,
were.
one was a sack of gems.
Yeah.
You're right, and that was stolen. So
Hey,
I take the
so-
sack that was in my pack from that
Sack,
patch.
the dove sack.
Yes.
Yep. That didn't have any doves in it, but
No.
you acted as if they did.
It's
How about-
magic.
I'll buy all your meat for 15 gold, and you can go home early today.
Make a persuasion check. It was, I can get more for that if I just hang out here and sell it out. Why would I sell it out early and go home?
You make a good point. We will take all of your meat for 20 gold.
All right, deal.
Take it off.
Put it in this sack. It's very clean.
Sure.
There were no doves in it.
Loads of your sack. Oh, me.
Where would we find a beer?
I'm off the clock.
You want a beer?
That's ridiculous. You're not off the clock. You still have cleanup to do.
It's
Gonna leave this all gross?
What's your return
Make
policy?
a persuasion check. Not you. Just mark this.
It's a 17.
Yeah, you can grab a beer at that tavern, that inn, or that tavern.
Why do they all have the same name?
They don't.
That? Is it a chain?
We're gonna go to the inn. Thanks, Dwarf. Walk towards the inn.
Cool.
We go.
Do you walk towards the inn that you guys were going to meet up with them?
Is that the one you
No, we
pointed
go
at?
to that inn. Not the Hickory Inn.
Do you tell me?
Did he point at the Hickory Inn?
Yeah.
Yeah, we go to that one.
All right, sure.
Yeah.
You guys go to the Hickory Inn.
We go.
You walk into the Hickory Inn, and there is a bar off to your left, a number of chairs, small, like 2 or 3 small tables, and a individual at the right next to a podium that leads upstairs. Behind is a staircase that leads upstairs that has a number of rooms that you can kind of see from the balconies, the interior balconies.
Beer?
Yeah, bunch.
We go to the bar.
Cool. You belly up.
Is there a bartender?
Yeah.
What does this troll look like?
Is a troll?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Mean? It's just a barbarian.
You see a half orc that you think is just a troll walk up. Says, what can I do for you?
We would like 5 of your finest beers, please.
5 of the finest beers right away. And walks up and pours 5 beers for you.
Hey, wait a minute.
I would like one too. Those 5 were for him. I also would like a beer.
Yes.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
One beer.
Here, yep.
How
Sure thing.
much do we owe you?
You owe one. Sorry, I'm new.
What have you been doing before this?
6. What?
What have you been doing before this?
Well, why?
6? 6. And I take out 6 meat sandwiches and hand him 6 meat sandwiches.
I'm not hungry. Thank you, though.
You don't even want what? But you could sell these for 3 gold.
That's not how that works. If you're not gonna pay me 6 gold, I'm gonna ask you to leave.
Give him 6 gold.
Thank you.
Okay. Why do I have to give you all the gold? I didn't.
I just gave him 6 gold.
Oh, okay, cool. Never mind. I will remove
Try to
that.
pay with euros.
Euros. Get it? We didn't hit up the exchange.
Yeah.
How are the rooms here?
Cozy.
He says they're cozy. I don't know what that means.
I mean, come on, guys.
You have a room that can sleep 4.
Yeah.
We'll take it.
All right. Cool. Gonna go talk to Samantha.
As he does that, I drink 4 of the beers and I keep 2 of the glasses and I hide them.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Yes. Dirty 20.
Good. Excuse me, sir. You got a little something on your mouth. You got some leftover beer on your mouth.
Oh, yeah. Thanks. Do you have a
Yep.
napkin?
Yeah. Here you are, and he hands you
Thank
the
you. Can I
bar,
have 2 napkins? I'll probably do it again.
the bar rag. He goes, yeah, I guess so. Hands you another bar.
I'm going to keep the cleanest one. I will use the dirtiest one to wipe my mouth, and I will keep
Alright.
the clean.
Cool.
Oh my god.
We got the room.
Yeah, you gotta go talk to Samantha.
Oh, you were going to...
Yeah, you said you were gonna do that.
I said you have to. I'm working.
Okay. And drink the rest of our beers so we go talk to Samantha.
Okay.
Hi, Samantha.
What does this elf say?
This is a fun new game for you guys.
Yes, actually.
Yes.
1 room for 4.
Of course. And gives you a room for 4. Gives you a key card.
Whoa, what is...
No. I'm not doing that.
It's a card shaped like a key.
Veto.
How much does this room cost? And do you take euros?
What?
The price?
No, what did you say the first time?
How much?
Like
does this
AJ
room
to Bob,
cost?
what did you
How
say?
much does this room cost? And
Cost.
Do you take
Oh.
euros?
1 room will be gold, 1 gold a night.
Half a euro.
I don't
Okay.
think that.
His exchange rate's a little crazy. We spent a lot of time in Euro.
Even in this above game, even in this situation, you said €1 was 3 gold, so it wouldn't be half a euro.
Nice.
Just whatever.
You could eat a third of a euro. Nobody eats a third sandwich.
What are you guys doing?
Depends on the size of the
Yeah,
sandwich.
sure. Mark says, why don't you go get another round? Meet me at the room.
Yeah. Do that. I just go up to the bartender and hey, can you fill this for me? And I offer him my water skin. How much will that cost?
Guess so, but how full is your water? How much does
It's
it hold?
empty right now.
Yeah, I understand that, but like, how
How
much
many?
does it hold?
Just keep going and then charge me for it.
All right, well, and he like doesn't know how to figure it out, so he's like pouring a beer out of one spout while he's pouring your water skin so that he can see how many beers worth it is. Pretty smart move. And pours 2 beers, and it's 2 beers worth. So he goes, that'll be 4 gold.
I think I've seen it hold four pints.
Sure,
Cool. Okay. Yes.
4 gold.
Excellent. I will make that thing for you, and here is 5 gold for you because you've been so helpful.
Well, thanks.
While he's filling up his beer, I'm in the room, and I'm gonna take one of the black dragon scales and my wicked sharp hand axe, and I'm going to make a little tiny incision on my arm, and then bandage the dragon scale into that incision.
Okay. Make a medicine check for me.
19.
We'll move over to you guys. What exactly are you doing while you are so you're waiting to be called in, and after some time you wait, and gentleman behind the bar goes, yeah, the caller will see you now. Please make your way up the stairs, and it's the only doors. So
Okay.
you walk up, and you walk in, and you see a very familiar room. It's like all of these were like cookie cutter, like layouts. So you see a long room with a desk on the end and a series of bookshelves with open windows on your right, and a very nervous looking man with a very long mustache that kind of goes down to here, but no beard or anything else like that. Auburn hair and fair skin is frantically looking for papers. He goes, yes, can I help you?
Can I insight check before we start talking to him?
What do you want to insight on it?
I want to see if he like
I should have done that.
seemed.
You guys can always insight check. If I can get you to trust a single person in this world, I will have won D&D.
Literally, I already did it.
I trust everybody.
Huh?
I said I trust everybody.
That's
I
part of your
trust
character.
no one. I want to check and see if like his frantic nature is because he's like afraid or overwhelmed.
Sure, roll an
Good
insight check.
idea.
13.
Bit of both or neither.
Okay.
It's hard to tell.
All right.
Hi, yes, Cola.
Yes, have a seat. Have a seat. Feel free.
Oh, okay.
And you were what did you need? I forgot. What did you need here?
Yes, we are looking for a laboratory.
Okay, I'm sure there is someone somewhere in the town that can give you, flasks and I don't know, fire.
No.
I don't know. That's
No,
my
no.
thing. I don't know what issue mean.
No, we're looking for a specific laboratory. We have a letter that the person that had hired us for, who wants to remain anonymous, like we have to deliver this. It's a very specific laboratory that is here.
Oh, well, may I see the letter?
It's supposed. Should we?
I'll hold it up for you. We were told not to let it exchange hands.
Yes.
Okay, little strange. Yes, that is irrelevant, and I don't know who's playing a trick on you.
What do you mean?
That was a laboratory It was a library that was shut down years ago.
Like quote unquote laboratory.
Because it's not a laboratory, it's a library that was shut down years ago.
Oh, where is there remains of it somewhere? Is there?
Yeah, I'm sure there are. But
Whereabouts is it?
it's to the northwest of here.
Why was it shut down?
I mean, well, it was a library that held a number of books and information, and well, frankly, during the emergence, we just simply couldn't keep resources towards it, and resources were put elsewhere to, maintain civilization and prevent Titans from destroying us all. So the money was withdrawn, and it's kind of fallen into disarray.
Is it within this city limits here?
No, you have to go out the city wall, and it's to the northwest of here for maybe a day's hike.
A day's hike?
Yes.
Why would we be hired?
Who was tasked with the upkeep of the library?
Roll a performance check.
Which is great, by the way. But like,
You're just like, sorry, what'd you?
Who was tasked with the upkeep of the library?
Oh, well, there were a number of
Prior
individuals. Oh, before it shut down. Yeah, there were a number of individuals. I mean, I had a list I could make here and try to find a list for you. I could get, people that I'm. Do you roll in that one? Yeah.
but I have a plus 13, so.
You roll in that one.
Come
That
on!
one. You roll it.
But what's the plus 13 there for?
I will tell you because all of the other numbers in between.
Oh my god.
We play that a nat 1 is an automatic fail and a natural 20 is an automatic success.
Okay,
If you roll a natural 20 and you still fail, you would be upset.
true.
Yes, quite.
As you say, you're like, oh yeah, why would anybody hand us this? And he's like, who handed you that?
We can't say.
Roll a deception check.
19. I have plus 10 deception.
Is it a shield hand? Level 3. Fine.
If you guess who gave it to us, and you guess
I don't know who
correctly,
gave it to you. Level 3 just so happens to be anybody that's in the Isles and above land, and it's all. But yes. What do you need to know? I'm sorry. How can I help you? How can I help?
Day's hike to the northwest. That's all we need to know.
Shutdown. It's a shutdown site. Why do you need to go there exactly? Do you need an escort? Do you need me to find people for you?
No, we're just not from this
Yeah.
area. We've never been here before, and we thought that it was in this district, so I guess we know that we're on the right path. So,
Yeah, I mean, if anybody knows about the old defunct library, but if you didn't, I mean,
we haven't been in this area before. Yeah.
Okay,
Even
yeah, I
as
guess you
shield
just
hands.
didn't need to talk to me about it. Yeah.
you seem very nervous about something. Is there something that we can help you with? before
I'm
we-
nervous about something.
Yeah.
It seems like it.
You're nervous about.
No.
Fine. What do you? What you're trying to help me out? I have tasks for
mean,
you if you need them. If you
maybe.
need jobs. Yeah, but right away. By all means.
Let's hear them.
Shit. Well, I don't have tasks for you, but I know people that have tasks for you. So you can go speak to them if you need work.
Well, part of the reason we came to talk to you that in our travels here, we walked through the swamp, and there appears to be a zombie horde rising. And
Yes.
normally we would take care of it, and we tried to. And I dropped the 2 pins on the Calda's desk and say, and we lost 2 of our party to the zombies. So there is a zombie horde that could or could not be coming towards your city.
that's
Apologize. I'm sorry for your
We'll
loss.
take compensation for our loss. Because we
I mean,
did take quite a few of them out.
We
Well-
also know that's a part of our contract that if we do lose like a part of our party, that there is,
as you giggle,
Well, no, I did not giggle.
make a performance check.
Okay.
He giggles, these two.
Dirty 20.
He goes, yes. Well, I mean, you do understand that the compensation is meant for the families of the departed, and if they happen to have no family, then yes, that part
They
of the
don't
event
have any
party and the
families.
Shilhan group is what. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, but I guess on a bonus side, they won't be missed aside from you two. So yes, you're more than welcome to what.
We just
have
told
no
you
empathy, do
you wouldn't have known about these zombies. You'd have been totally blindsided by them. And
Right.
I'm telling you, and I'm
okay.
telling you about my fallen comrades, and you're telling me that they're not missed.
Right.
I feel like all of this could have been dealt with Nathaniel downstairs, and you didn't need to come to me.
I asked Nathaniel about the laboratory, and he had no idea what I
That's
was
because
talking
it's
about.
not a laboratory, it's a library, and nobody knows of a laboratory, and it's not a laboratory, it's
Okay.
a library.
Okay.
It's a library that did experiments.
I don't know why would they have done experiments?
Why do you not know what's going on in your jurisdiction?
What
What kind of a cult are you?
I
No wonder why he's so stressed.
Yeah.
He doesn't know how to do his job.
Wow. Is there a recall going on for your position right now? Because there should be, probably.
I will not have any more of this. What is the name of this group here? What is your
The venture capitalists.
He's just so happy he didn't say mofo. Well, I'll have it be that maybe a shield hand level 2 looks better than the 3 on your lapels here.
Excuse me?
Well, you've come into my office and accused me of a number of things and said that I am not dealing my own city correctly.
Well,
We've
sir,
heard some stuff just walking in through the city.
I think it's our first time here.
Let the commoners speak whatever they'd like. They're more than welcome to it, but out of the two of you, I would expect much more, especially having just dealt with, oh, that's what it is. I understand. You're grieving. Okay, you're grieving. I'm sorry. It's kind of
You know,
You know what? We'll just take our thing and go.
I have it still. I didn't give it to him.
No, I mean our compensation for our fallen comrades.
Yes, well, talk to Nathaniel, and he'll be able to help you.
Thank you.
Why is your hand...
I'm gonna steal something from his office before we leave.
As you leave, you're leaving, and there's a bookshelf off to your right. There's a bookshelf off to your right. There are two
Boss.
tables. What is like a small hallway side table? Like a hallway
Armoire.
table called.
End table?
Sure. There's two tables at the end of that are either side of the door. Make an investigation check for me. No, that was equally fun as it was offensive. So I'm sorry for that.
17.
All right. There are a number of ornate like artifacts on either table, and then there's a number of books off to your right. You could probably grab one of the artifacts off of left, right, or you could try to grab some books off to the right.
Do any of the titles jump out at me as like something interesting or useful?
What did you roll?
17.
17. There's a number of the Gray history and Tyran history. There is a number of Tyran law. And, yeah, I mean, it's an office of
Yeah.
a bureaucrat. There's,
I'm gonna steal the shiniest artifact.
Chinese artifact. Roll a sleight of hand check, please.
27.
Hell yes.
You are able to swipe off a artifact that is worth 40 gold easily off, and as you exit,
Okay.
he goes, "Send Nathaniel in when you leave."
Okay. I'm not gonna tell Nathaniel that he's wanted.
Yeah, you need it.
Meanwhile, these two have officially grabbed some beers and a water skin full of beer and gone up to their room to do
Well,
science.
I did my scale transfusion while he was at the bar.
Okay. So you slice in, you patch up,
Yep.
and you put your
Put a black scale.
dragon team patch on, and
What happens?
make a Constitution check, a Constitution saving throw.
16.
You get a little woozy
I
at one
I
point.
had to do the 19 medicine check. You had me do that.
Yes. Yeah, that was to be able to do it right, not
Oh,
cut
nah.
yourself.
Slice.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So you insert the scale in between the incision that you just made, and then kind of bandage it up, and there seems to be no effect right now.
Okay.
I'm gonna go upstairs, and I'm just gonna start opening doors. Figure out what room we're in. 'Cause I don't. He went up there, and I don't know what room we're in.
All right. Make a. You guys are buttheads. This is what I get for like not playing every week. Is like you guys get all fucking.
We've also been like typing little messages to each
good.
other while their stuff has been going on.
Of course, yeah. Make an investigation check. Are you trying to find his room, or are you just opening doors?
I'm just opening doors. 13.
The first room you walk into, you hear. And you shut the door.
Yes.
The door shuts right away.
That is not Kata's noise. He rarely screams.
Do you check another room?
Yep.
Cool. Make an investigation check.
3.
You see a. It's an empty room. You see an empty room. Make an
Okay.
investigation check.
12.
You find Kata's room.
Hey. I close the door and go into the next one.
Make an investigation check.
15.
There is a gruff-looking individual who has a number of knives spread about the bed,
Oh.
and he goes, "We'll come in."
Yeah. Hi.
Hello.
Would you like some beers?
Well, first, what's the highest point a stork can fly?
The highest point a store can fly.
A stork.
I really wanted to go back and forth for a while on
Yeah.
that. The highest point a stork can fly.
It's an easy answer, but
Can I phone a friend?
you need to leave right now.
I don't know the answer, but it sounds like you don't want any beers.
Have a great day.
You as well. And I close the door, but with me still in the room.
Goes. I asked you to leave, and that was me being polite.
Oh, I thought you were leaving.
At that point, he's going to draw a knife from his belt and roll initiative.
Cool. All right. I'm with it. I'm going to fuck this dude up with an 11.
You can
Yeah.
get a knife in the throat.
That was some thieves' can't, man.
I don't know how tall a fucking stork can fly.
Nice.
I was like,
I like how much.
the baby's highest point, the high chair.
Depends on how many pounds the baby is.
He rolled a natural one.
Oh.
Excuse me, one moment while
I
I
need
find
help.
any fucking character.
Excellent.
What would you like to do?
I'm going to sprint right up to him and use my cool weapon that Kata gave. And I'm going to attack twice. A 13 and a 23.
Is it 23, 19 perhaps?
It is not. It is a 16.
Give me one
Or a
second.
22 and a 13. Pardon me.
All right. All right. So I'm sorry. What did you do? What were your rolls? One more time.
22, 13.
22 hits. 13 does not.
Okay. I'm going to use some key points to make that 13 hit.
How many key points would you like to use?
I will use 2.
We'll put on battle music when you can too.
Oh, yeah.
So you get 2 per 2.
So I can use between 1 and 3, and it raises 2 per.
2 per. So raised 4 to
Yep.
17. Still misses.
I use my third one.
Can you? I'm asking you. Can you? Can
I think I can use between 1 and 3 to make it a hit, essentially.
if you use the third one, it will hit.
I will use the third one.
Okay. You've used 3 key points, and it hits twice.
Cool. Doing 11. Doing 15 damage.
Okay.
And I will use Flurry of Blows. And since it is... I think it's still poison on my hands. Stop rolling, buddy. Oh, cool. A natural 1. Both of those miss. They do.
Okay.
And one is a natural 1, the other is a nat 6.
Cool.
So they both miss, but I did do 15 damage. And as a movement, I'm going to move towards the door.
All right. So as you step towards the door, he goes, "Hold on a sec," and slashes at you with his scimitar twice.
Okay.
First one is going to be a
Why did I think
16?
16 just hits.
Cool.
It meets.
The second one is going to be a 24.
Wow. Yeah, they both hit pretty good.
All right. Scimitar is 1d8.
Yes.
That's what happens when you leave them alone.
If they come up to me with my reaction, I will use my
For 22 points of slashing damage.
cool. I'm gonna use my reaction on him to have that. That's a 16. Doesn't hit. Can't use any more points.
All right. You are up. What are you doing?
I'm gonna disengage and run out the door.
Cool. You disengage and run out the door. And you make it to where you heading. As you burst through the door, there's
As I
the
leave the
hallway.
door, I grab
that
one
you've
of the
seen.
darts and I wedge it in the door so that you can't open the door.
Okay. That'll be your action.
Yeah.
So are you disengaging as your action, or is that going to be your action?
I'm gonna leave and then I won't disengage. I'm gonna let him attack me. That's cool. And I'm going to just
20.
wedge the darts in the doors. Yeah,
Dirty 20
that hits for sure.
for an additional 8 slashing points.
30 damage. Neat. What a guy. What a
You
fucking-
did it!
You're not here.
Uh,
And I check the door to make sure it's wedged so that he can't get
he
out.
wedges the door. All right, cool. So you head. Where do you head as you wedge the door?
Indicator's room.
Indicators room. Make a stealth check for me.
Perfect. A 25.
That is, yeah.
Stealthy.
He, on his turn, steps to the door, breaks it down, and looks left and right,
Fuck
and
this
does
guy.
not see anybody.
I hear this.
Sure, yeah, you hear.
Yeah, Marxus comes bolting in the room. I hear the door next door explode,
Yeah.
and I walk out of my room, shut the door behind me, so I can see. I was like this guy. I'm like, "What the fuck? What are you doing?"
It's none of your business.
We share a wall. Common courtesy would say, "Don't be a fucking asshole," and blow doors off their hinges. You
Yeah.
gonna go talk to Samantha?
Yeah, make a performance check.
Well,
Both. Yeah, well, did you see a little cat man running around here?
Catman.
I think it was a no. He walks off in the other direction.
And I just laughed to myself. The ends justify the means.
Make a stealth check.
Five.
What'd you say?
Said, when the ends justify the means,
Fuck's that mean?
you need to leave right now. You can't solve my riddle. I take a bite of my Euro sandwich.
Make an intimidation check.
7.
Natural 20.
Yeah.
Goes. What do you hide?
I put my Euro behind my back. It's my sandwich.
Yeah, but you know something. Where's your cat friend?
And I
Is he in there?
point towards the door a little bit. And I do this
To him?
to that guy.
Make a persuasion check.
What are we doing? We've really got off.
Yeah, no, I know. 9.
But
He goes, no. You go that way. This is whispering. He goes, you go that way. I'll check out the room.
You want me to go that way?
I want you to piss off and I'll check out the room.
can I hear this on the other side of the door?
Make a perception check. Fucking seriously, guys.
22.
Yep.
I'm going to get ready. I'm gonna climb up the wall because that's one thing I can do.
Yeah,
now.
you're a cat.
Yeah.
And a
I'm-
monk.
And I'm just going to hang out above the door, like in the between where the threshold of the door opens and the ceiling.
I got you.
Yeah.
I'm picking up what you put now.
Yep.
Alright. So, I forgot the latest interaction that you guys had.
Well, like, I'm gonna go back into my room. 'Cause it's my room and I paid for it. You're welcome to come in and look for your cat. If you...
You just said you gave me a look and pointed in there, and then you whispered. You don't know he's hiding.
Yeah.
So, is he in there or not?
I'm not gonna know unless we go look.
What are you? And he looks at you and kind of backs you away and goes to open the door. Gives himself like an internal 1, 2, 3 count. And bursts the door open.
Yeah.
Make a stealth check.
Oh no.
Do you have sad music you can play?
10.
He goes, ah! Alright, fine. You just fucking with me. You take a bite of your sandwich. He goes, ugh, and kind of shoves you up against the wall and walks past you and walks downstairs. Meanwhile,
I shut the door.
you shut the door. Meanwhile, these two,
Mark
you
Nolan.
are leaving the Calder's office, and you pass Nathaniel at the desk. Is there anything you'd like to say?
Yes, Nathaniel. We're here to collect compensation for our fallen comrades.
Oh. I'm so sorry.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a...
Dakota didn't have the same response.
Well, he's a lot going on.
What's going on?
He's, I don't know, the Calder of a major city. I think he's got a lot of stuff. I'm sorry. He gets ornery sometimes. Yes. Okay, here. Do you have the shields?
Is he stressed out about the new Giba?
No, they're fine. What do you mean they need
Oh,
them?
nothing.
Okay. Guess you don't know. Is he stressed out
Yes,
about
I
the
don't. What do you
zombies?
mean? What's going on about the Ingiba?
Is he stressed out about the zombies?
I mean, I feel like we would all be stressed out about zombies.
Well, we just
Uh,
told him about zombies.
No, seriously, what's going on with the Ingiba?
What's going on with the Calda?
He's stressed out.
About
But
what?
what?
But he's got a city to run.
We just
I mean, he probably shouldn't be in that position
Yeah,
if he,
but
like,
he's different.
didn't,
job
like,
description.
I mean,
All right,
Don't
can I
take
see
a
the
shot.
shields, please?
yes.
Writes down some numbers off of the back of the shield for the serial number kind of thing. And,
oops.
yeah. And hands you guys level 3, we'll call it 180 gold pieces per shield.
So you take one in.
Apparently that is the cost of a life of a level 3 shield,
Wow.
according to math and what I rolled.
60 per level, huh?
It's I rolled a 6 on a d10.
I guess this will suffice.
I mean, that's what I rolled.
Nathaniel, you should have heard some of the stuff that he was saying about you in there. You should quit.
Why?
You can do better.
I mean, this is a really good paying gig.
Yeah, but for a person of your talents, you could do better.
I feel like you don't know me.
Don't I?
What intimidation check? I feel like their attitude is contagious.
9?
No, you don't.
No, you don't.
I'm sorry, we thought you were a different Nathaniel.
Have a great day.
Oh,
Bye.
Nathaniel.
Different Nathaniel.
Really?
Is
Immediately.
there anything in his office I can steal?
There is an open room with a desk.
Is there anything on the desk? Is there any, like, paperwork?
Roll an investigation check.
Nice catch.
13.
Nothing that is. It is a raised desk, and all of his items are on the lower tier of the desk. It's very
Steal
modern.
his pen.
And as you walk away, he goes, "Hey, that's fine." Replaces a pen.
We'll meet them at the end.
So you guys meet at the inn.
Oh, but when we leave, I want to, like, duck into the closest alley and say, all right, I'm going to disguise myself. Do you want me to disguise you too?
Let's do it.
Okay. You should probably, after that interaction, not be walking around with the same face.
Probably.
Take your shield hand pin off.
Well, keep it on first because we got in here that way, right? So they need to know that we're shield hands leaving.
Oh, but I thought we left already.
Yeah, you can see you left.
Oh, okay.
You're
Okay.
outside
Okay.
in.
Like outside of the gates and stuff like that. of
You're
where
in
they're at. Okay.
what is called the Bowl.
Cool.
It's a garden area
Yep.
outside of the castle ward.
Take it off.
Now that we're safe, we want to find Brewer.
Yep. Yeah. Well, they're on their way back.
Oh no!
We're gonna. How many servings of the dragon's blood do we have?
4.
4. Can I try one just to see what I should use to like brew with?
I feel like we shouldn't. I don't know much about Dragon's Blood, only lore from back home. But I know we should not ingest it.
Well, that's why I got all this beer. I was gonna mix it and then like dilute it down and then have it with these 4 pints and then I'll just drink it all with like a 1 to 4. You know, should be good. And I think it'd be okay.
I will offer
If
you
not,
this.
laboratory.
I'll offer you this compromise. I think it's a pretty executive move to make without the rest of our work associates. What if we brew some powdered dragon scale poison beer now?
Oh, yeah, and then ask them about it.
Yeah.
And then, but you think they'll be cool with it?
Probably.
Alright. So I'm gonna brew
I powder enough dragon scales for
for one brew, and we're
For
gonna
one brew?
make a. I'm just gonna roll to see if it's dope. A natural 20.
Yeah?
Yep.
Okay.
sit.
Yeah. I was like, oh well, I'm just gonna burn a key point because then I can just make it work anyway.
We will say this is a extra potent batch, but I don't know what that means because we don't know what it does.
So
So
we'll just hold on to it and go. I
you
feel
brew the
really,
heck out of it.
I feel really good about this, man. Like I think that it's just gonna be really great. We'll figure out what it does when they get back.
Perfect.
Is there anything you'd like to do before you return to the Hickory Inn?
I'm gonna disguise us using my disguise kit.
Cool. Make a performance check twice. Once for you, for the start, and once for Orla.
Okay.
Orla's the gold. a 4 and a 5 plus.
A 6 and a 7.
You guys, you like. So
Oh.
Orla, you wanted to be an old gnome. You're just Orla with like bags drawn under your eyes, and it's like, are you a gnome that's old, or are you a gnome that went to the fair and has whiskers painted on her cheeks?
I'm a kitty.
And you rolled a
6.
6. What did you want to dress up as?
I wanted to cut my hair off to look like a gnomish man and use the hair as like a beard.
You immediately cut your hair off,
Oh
and it is not a good even cut. It's at an angle
Okay.
for the back,
Okay.
and then you're holding your hair in your hand, and you're like, "Oh my god, this is never going to look like a beard." And are you gonna attempt to put it on as a beard anyway?
No, I'm just gonna put it in my backpack and I'm gonna put the hood of my cape up.
Probably a better choice at that point. So you put your hood up, hide your new haircut, just angled down to the back from right to left,
And I'm trying to walk like an old person.
but you look kind of like a gnome cat, hobbling.
Yes.
Yeah,
People are pulling their children close.
like clutching their head to their hip. And oh, you do that? Okay. They go, no, thank you. And they keep walking by. So you make your way to the Hickory Inn. Look at you on the ball, fucking this guy. Those are old man jig, old woman jig. What?
Oh, no,
OMG.
Jig.
Old gnome jig. It's the name of my latest album. What are you all doing?
I'm gonna immediately go to the bathroom and wipe this off my face.
Okay. You go to the bathroom and wipe that off your face.
I'm gonna grab a seat at the bar and order Orla and I some beverages and try and strike up a conversation with the bartender if he is not too busy.
Fucking smart. What metagaming right there?
You got it.
Hell yeah.
He goes, yes, can I, two ales?
Yes, please.
Yes, right away.
Are you very busy right now? Do you have we're visiting here, and I know that like the best way to get like a sense of a town is to talk to the local bartenders, and if you have a minute, I can make it worth your while.
I
slide a couple gold across the bar.
No, I'm not too busy. I appreciate the tips, but yeah. There's not really anybody in here right now. There's like a few people in there, but
have you been here for a while in DeGray?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I'm new at this job, but I've been around the city. I was born and raised here, but I was born in a small city just outside of Drilla, but then moved up here with my family, and then we lived in a small little cottage outside of the city, and then I moved to the city, and I spent some time in Venice, but it didn't work out, so I came back down here, and yeah, so I've been here for a good portion of my life.
Okay. All right. Do you know anything about a library outside of town?
Outside of town?
Yeah, to like the northwest.
No, I don't know. There's a library inside of town.
What's a library inside of town like?
It's like a portion of the Castle Ward. They have a library there. It's great. You can easily go in, no problem. You just walk in, show them your library card.
What? What are your thoughts on like the current Calda?
He's all right.
Okay.
Yeah.
What kind of things are like going on around town that might have like They called it kind of stressed out.
I mean, in this district, the Cherry Way is pretty calm. I mean, for the most part, we good. For the most part, we just have our own, lumber industry kind of going on and dealing with that. I could understand if the cult is a little stressed out because the Elm Gate is technically like the Calda's lumber district, but everyone here does in the Cherry Way doesn't work for the government, so it's like capitalist versus the other, or like the government. They want their portion of the lumber industry here.
Okay. Okay.
By no means am I trying to make fun of anybody with any speech impediment. But
No.
it's just that like an orc has tusks, so I feel like they all
I
kind
love
of
it
have
so much,
lisps, and
yeah.
they get in the way, and I get it. It's 100%.
Do you know anything about the Morning Fall?
Oh, yeah. You don't. I mean, they have that district. They kind of took over a portion of the Harbor District, and they kind of run their own things over there. But yeah, I'd be careful. I don't want to. I wouldn't go on a go there.
Is Orla at the bar yet?
Yes, I just walked out of the bathroom and up to the bar. Hello.
Hello.
Do I know you?
I don't think so.
Okay. I'm Orla.
Hi. Hi, I'm Stefan. Yeah, it's nice to meet you.
Goodness.
What was your name?
Juliana.
Yeah, that's what it's like. Oh, Juliana, that's pretty.
Thank you.
Juliana, Orla.
Yes.
Try not to forget people's names. They say the best kind of customer service is if you remember their name, and then when they come back in, you repeat their name, and everyone feels very welcome.
It's very true.
Yeah, excellent.
Yeah. Well, thanks for the beers.
Yeah, do you want to pay for them now, or do you want to start a tab?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll pay for them
Oh,
now.
I thought I already paid for them.
I don't remember.
I got it. 2 gold?
Best kind of customer service.
Sure.
Charge full price.
Yeah, I got it.
But I did.
I gave them 2 gold.
See you guys.
Oh,
Buy 2 gold. What are you guys doing? Upstairs?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Should we maybe go look?
Real quick, as you guys do that, you guys see a very upset individual storm down the stairs, looking around, and then storms out.
Did I notice anything like about him?
Yeah, I mean, like they were like
Like did I
they had
notice what color
a
robes
scimitar on their hip. They weren't in really robes, but they were like in there was a patch on their shoulder. Make an investigation check.
8.
Sure, it was really just a delay so I can make something up in my head. There's a patch on their shoulder that has a sun on one half, cut in half, and then a moon on the other. And it is you'd imagine, you could probably suffice that as like a morning fall kind of thing.
like the morning.
Like the sun above and a moon below kind of thing.
Isn't there a group called the Morning,
Morning
Fall?
fall. Yep.
Mark says, should I maybe go downstairs and look for a friend?
Yeah.
You should stay here and keep drinking your beer.
Well, I'm gonna hold it, and then we're gonna mix it, and then I'm gonna drink it.
Yeah. I'm gonna go see if they're here. But remember that super angry person that was fighting you?
Yeah, the Storkman.
Storkman, yeah. You should stay in here so he doesn't find you.
I got a joke for you though.
Okay.
How high does a stork fly?
Depends on how much the baby weighs.
That's not nearly as much fun as I thought it was going to be.
How high does your stork fly?
Depends on the legs. Because they got long legs.
Kata looks at him and is.
I'm funny, right?
Roll a performance check.
What is going on?
A 11.
Yeah, you're funny.
And then just walks out.
Safe and sound.
Yeah, you're hilarious. Very good joke.
I walk down. Oh, it's like you said, it's like an open, right? Like I can kind of see into the.
Yeah, it's a bar. You can see it from their balcony. Kind of,
Yeah.
it's like a rail that goes down.
Like an old West saloon.
That's where 90% of my saloons come from.
So I just stand up top and eat my sandwich and look about.
You see
Is it still the
a
same?
hooded individual and then
And I
Orla.
was continuously eating sandwiches.
He's like Brad Pitt from Ocean's 11. He's like constantly moving
Yeah.
crack or whatever.
Roll a
You see
performance
Orla
check.
and you see a hooded figure at the bar. You would assume is Narnia. You've seen her clothes before.
They see me.
Hey,
Yep.
Kata.
Wave. And eat my sandwich.
Yeah.
Point.
Real quick, above game, do you guys want to take a short break and then finish up, or do we want to like power through and just go till like
I'm good with powering
fire
through.
change?
Yeah, power through.
Alright, cool. Alright.
Power.
I know we're looking on time and we kind of
Sure.
Yeah.
missed our second break, so yeah. Alright, cool. So what do you guys do?
Eat a sandwich.
Go upstairs.
Yes.
Okay. So you guys
I'm gonna
grab your
take my
beers,
drink.
go upstairs. Head upstairs, what are you guys doing?
We're gonna just chit chat about
Yeah.
both of our experiences.
You share one of each other's experiences, and I hope everybody's listening to each other's. So that happens. What would you all like to do?
Hey. I was gonna try something. But Kata was like, we should wait to see what the rest of everyone else says. We both think it's a great idea. We're gonna try out and see what this dragon's blood does here.
Okay.
But, I don't want to just do it all at once. 'Cause,
Wait, you're gonna try some of it yourself?
yeah, who's the most experienced drinker here?
Well, you are. But does anyone have any kind of like poison control or anything like just in case?
Yeah, I've had a lot of booze in my life.
Well, I mean,
You guys also have antidotes, right?
this isn't.
Yeah, like if I start to like foam at the mouth, then you guys can just, trickle some of that antidote in there.
Let's just see if we got some. Let's just.
But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mix it with the beer.
We have antitoxin. What's that?
That's
that'd
right.
be-
Okay.
That sounds perfect.
Perfect.
So
Okay,
I'm
I've got
gonna-
some.
I'm gonna put it in the beer and I'm gonna drink the whole thing.
Cool.
Yeah?
All right.
Make a Constitution saving throw.
One serving of dragon's blood.
Dirty 20.
Hell yeah.
You see that text? So everybody got so. Alright, cool. So, dirty 20 on you trying your new created beverage. What happens?
It has this like, it's delicious. Oh my god, it's just so.
Did you drink it all?
Yeah, the whole thing.
Alright.
It tastes really good. I would recommend some, but there's not any left. And I feel this, like, my eyes feel really, really warm.
What does that mean?
I put my hands up and then down and I just meow, roar really loud.
What's that sound like? Yeah, just like that. As if you needed to describe it beforehand.
Oh my
god.
No, you didn't.
No, the
And-
animals upstairs are all.
And then
Yeah.
I immediately snap back and
Oh, there goes
Just-
gravity.
just have a pep in my step, but that's about it.
Step pepped.
Everyone.
Oh, you're watching that.
Can't wait to flip.
So yeah.
So, Marxus, what do you think we could
Oh my
use
God.
this for?
All sorts of things.
Yeah, like, what?
Well, meow roaring for one.
Mm.
And we can also, I think if we I could like use my brewing kits and I could titrate it down into a powder, and then we could all like party hard, or we could slip it into somebody's drink that we don't like, and they would, that's maybe not the best idea. But we would just have like a powdered-ish, poison-ish, make you really excited-ish, burn your eyes a little bit-ish powder.
So you really like it, but it's poison?
Yeah, I think that's literally what all alcohol is.
Maybe we should find a alchemist to give us some more info.
I take the rag that I have, the clean bar rag that I stole from the bar, and I wrap it around my head like a bandana.
Like a tuck back bandana or like a monk,
Like a monk,
like a Ninja Turtle bandana.
like a headband.
I'm
yeah.
sure there's a term
Like a
for it, and I
sweatband.
apologize if you know it, but I don't.
A sweatband.
Sure.
Like Allen Iverson,
Oh, you're
the
talking
second greatest pistol of all time.
Practice. Sorry.
So,
Talking about
Second greatest president of all time?
second greatest piston of all time.
Allen Iverson.
He was a piston.
Yeah, that's second.
yeah, that's a Doritos move, dude. That's a bold and daring statement right there. Doritos.
You know. Well, at least that's some chips because
Be bold and daring and get at us with all of our.
Yeah, I mean, if you
Zero
send a
papers.
commercial into space, let's be real. We could easily take some of that too. So,
Yeah. By the way, Ben Wallace, best piston of all time.
so
No.
what do you all do
Grant.
as you hear this?
Oh no, it's more of a.
Can't. Yeah, that is the most delightful cat noise you've made thus far in the game, and it's still terrifying. So go ahead.
like all of us are like just watching to see if he disintegrates or, bubbles or
Toil.
I-
Wheel was flicking
You know.
very aggressively the entire time.
stop, just kind of watching to see what happens after he drinks this concoction. And then we notice he's fine.
Thought it would do more.
And it's just kind of
Nice.
also on point, like the fact that he is fine. Maybe it will react differently to somebody else.
Maybe. Feel like I'm gonna sleep very well tonight. I will say that.
Well, for now, I say since we only have 3 more left, and likely we won't find another bleeding dragon to take their blood from, maybe just hold on to them
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
and put them in a safe spot.
I agree with going to talk to.
It's like midday, probably.
I agree with going to talk to an alchemist to see.
Yeah, same.
Also, all right. So the Calda said there was a library. It's not a laboratory. It's a library to
Yeah.
the northwest outside of town. But then the bartender was like, "What? There's no," and he's lived here for a really long time. There's no library outside of town. He had no idea. But the Calda was like, "Everybody knows about this library."
Mm-hmm.
So I'd like another opinion.
Because clearly, two opinions both seem very opposite of one another. And didn't like the Calda. But we did get some gold.
Yeah, that's good. Also, if we leave here, we're gonna have to disguise, as you guys know, disguise Marxus here because he tried to fight our neighbor.
Oh.
Yeah, who's part of the Morning Fall? Did you guys see the
No.
patch?
No, we were busy eating.
Okay.
We
What was the riddle that he said to you?
Oh, the joke? It wasn't very funny. It wasn't a punchline. It was more of a slice line. Get it? Because he sliced me with a scimitar. My arm hurts very badly. How high does a stork fly? Or what is a stork's highest point? I have something about storks and flying high. Kind of like I'm feeling right now.
Do I recognize that as thieves' cant, or
It would
like,
probably be a like if you had it was like a password
Code.
kind of
Yeah,
code
okay.
thing. Like if you had the appropriate answer, then you
Yeah.
knew that it was.
but I don't recognize that as like a.
And it was thieves'
No
can't, but it's not like
question.
it's not like
I didn't know if that.
You
was
didn't
like-
know the answer
there's
to that,
not
or
yeah,
like there's.
and that's the thing with thieves' can't is like there's not like always.
It's not like the
It's not like a it's not a
it's
it's not a language, but you may have been able to answer it.
Yeah. I didn't know if like it was like something that I had heard before that
No.
it was like a
I mean,
like
I don't think so.
okay.
But I'm sure you've used that like call and answer.
Yeah.
It's around.
Okay. Okay. Do you want me to disguise you? I have some extra hair.
Where did you get the hair? I love your haircut, by the way.
Thank you. I don't want to talk about it really. I pull my hood further over my head.
Oh. Were you going to Warp Tour?
Do you want me to disguise you or not?
Yeah. That guy was a real jerk, stork's jerk.
Well, it sounds like he gave you an opportunity to leave and you didn't take it.
Yeah. Kata doesn't back down, and I don't back down. Because I am Kata's friend. Kata wouldn't be friends with somebody that backs down from challenges.
Okay.
That's true.
19.
What did you disguise him as?
Perhaps.
Doing the
perhaps
job
a
for me,
lion
man. It's
that speaks
excellent.
Halfling?
Huh?
Perhaps a lion that speaks halfling?
Did you disguise your language?
You still have your part of your lion's gut too, right? So I'll just add the hair to your mane.
I just feel like I shouldn't look like a cat, though, because he's looking like a catman.
All right. Well,
And
what
you
do
have
want?
not seen a lot of cats. There are 2 cats that you guys have seen.
All
And
right.
we killed one.
I'm gonna like. I'm gonna make you look like Cousin It, and I'm just gonna like put the hair in front of your
Oh my
face.
god, yes.
Okay. I'm with it. You're the pro.
And I'm gonna give you like
We're
a
not with it, you are.
humpback, and tell you that you have to like walk like hunched over with the
You have to
hair.
walk this way.
Yeah.
I'm gonna talk this way.
Oh. Orla, you got any tips on walking old?
Like this.
Lumber.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Have a little bit of a wobble and just like bend over a little bit.
Have a little bit of a wobble.
Mm-hmm.
And bend over a little bit.
Just like that.
And I pull the hood of your cloak up.
Okay. How's it look?
Perfect.
It's pretty good.
Perfect.
And don't
but
talk when we're on the streets.
I feel very talkative. Okay, but I will try my best.
Actually, you like if you're gonna talk, I want you to like yammer, like talk a lot, like
Incessantly.
yeah,
Incoherently.
yeah,
Just like normal.
yeah. You can do that. Okay, so yeah, you can talk.
I don't want to look into what Kata just said because I thought we were friends, but I hear you.
Okay.
As long as you don't back down from this.
Yeah, I don't back down because if you back down, then you'd be a backpacker, and I don't like backpacking. I'd rather backpack because when you backpack, then you can really
There we go.
go anywhere.
All right, let's
You
go.
know, when you backpack around a place,
And we go.
then you.
All right.
Take,
I have
take
a-
the sack.
Where are you going?
He's in character.
I'm looking for alchemist while we're walking around.
It takes you a little bit, and you kind of question around, and you eventually find in the what was it, the Lost Village district. Just on the north. I'm sorry, the north. Sorry, the entire city is flipped upside down. So it's not great for me.
So
The northwest of the district, right outside the Elm Gate, you find a alchemist shop. And you knock on the door, you walk in. There's alchemical.
romance.
If
There-
I was. Sorry.
There is a
When I was a young boy,
there's a shop.
To the city.
You guys are butt heads.
to see a
Uh,
marching.
Is there anybody in the shop?
Yes,
How many people?
there is. There's one individual in the
A
shop.
worker.
Yep, they work there.
What is this
Oh, I recognize that. That's a Earth Genasi.
What is this? Earth?
Yeah, there's an orc there. There's a half orc there.
What
not doing that.
even is that?
I've actually already set up this character, and they are an alchemist, and you guys stumbled into that, and it's amazing. So,
Alchemist.
yeah,
Are you trustworthy?
I'd like to think so.
Marks has guarded the door.
Hello?
Okay, I love guarded doors. When you guard the doors are
We have
guarded.
Can I help you this day?
yeah. What literature or learnings do you have of dragon's blood?
Oh. Well, some would say that there is a level of volatility to dragon's blood, but I agree. Yep. Yeah, it's
What does
dangerous.
What does that mean?
It's not particularly stable, and if you were to try to utilize it in some particular ways, you should be very careful.
What would people use it?
I mean, like, what do you, let me help you. What exactly are you referring to? What have you done? Have you found any? Are you looking to do anything particularly
Well, say
stupid?
you brewed it in a beer and you drank it.
I would say that would be a very dangerous ale.
And what would you say the effects would be?
Dangerous as well.
Like what kind? Like what would you expect?
I'm not exactly sure. There are a number of hypotheses around. There could be anywhere from magical effects of the individual. There could be anywhere of sudden death. It's a very chaotic.
Well, how long would you think that these effects would take place?
They could manifest anywhere from immediately to years later, or they could. Yeah, I mean, it's really up in the air, and we could really. It's very difficult to say.
The door is guarded. Guarding the door. The door is guarded. Is guarded this door, and it is me.
Is he gonna be all right?
I hope so.
I am
find
a
out.
guard.
Did he
I guard-
ingest? He did.
Yes. That's why
That
we're here.
is interesting. Yeah, may I don't know, check him out for a moment?
Sure.
He kind of like holds a torchlight up to your eyes because there's no flashlight. And like checks you out and like checks your breathing and all of these things, and you go, why is he covered in hair?
That's a disguise.
I am a
Oh,
hidden,
you're
hidden guard
you're
door.
hiding him.
Hidden door,
Oh,
guard
yes.
door. Hidden, very hidden. Very, very, extremely hidden.
what? I'm not gonna ask. All right. So, and he kind of does a medicine check and checks things out and looks and says, well, if he's not dead yet, I would imagine that he will not be dead from this. Could die otherwise, but can't
She's saying I'm
tell.
gonna die?
We're all
Not
gonna
from
die.
this.
Oh, I don't want to die yet either. That sounds gross.
Um,
I mean,
Oh, I was really, really hungry.
how many sandwiches you got through?
I've probably eaten 6.
He goes, so he'll live, but I'm not a, physician, so maybe take him to one of those.
Say we weren't so concerned about that part of it.
I'm a little more concerned about it than he is.
Uh,
But I'm guarding the door. Door guard. I'm guarding the door.
what else could he have done with the dragon's blood other than drink it himself?
As a humanoid, I don't know, I guess you could maybe, like, turn it into some, like, alchemical fire, but if it's going to be, you know, non-red or gold dragon blood, then I guess it wouldn't necessarily be fire, but you'd have,
What about black?
I guess...
Well, there's
black
silver
would
dragon.
be-
They're silver dragon.
They're silver?
Yeah.
Or are they
They're silver.
black? The silver?
Yeah. Well, the blood was blood colored, but it was a silver dragon with a bunch of black scales on it. We have some with black scales. Will that help?
I guess it would be, I don't know, like cold, and maybe something would, you could make a cold fire, I guess.
A cold brew, if you will.
Oh, you're the brewer, I assume?
Yeah. I did it.
So yeah, then cold brew.
If
It's got a ring.
just what? I'm sorry. What was your name?
My name is Asha.
Asha. What? It doesn't seem like you know a whole lot about this. If we wanted to find a library to learn more about this, where might we go looking?
You can check out the library at the, the Shield Hands and Call to Have a Library.
Yeah, we can check that one. Where else could we go? Is there a different place of learning? Anywhere? It doesn't even have to be in town. It could be anywhere.
What are you getting at? You
Oh,
Can I do an insight check to see if this person's trustworthy?
want to set an insight check?
I also have a question for him.
26.
You would imagine by his pressing, by Kata's pressing, that he might know about what you guys are asking about.
Okay.
Whether or not he's trustworthy, seems so. Seems genuine, but may know a thing or two about what you're asking. What was your question?
Yeah, thank you. The question is the question that I have is the following. It is a question, and it is for you. Bird happily,
Yeah.
all of a sudden, apparently.
I've got a question, and this question is for you.
Are you prepared for your question? Your question is the following.
It's good.
So we didn't brew with it. I just mixed it with beer and then drank it, and it was delicious. We did brew a beer with these black scales that were pulverized, and it turned out, I think, really, really good. What do you think?
Well, if I'd be happy to run some tests,
Yeah.
yeah, see what exactly what
ABV
this
and all
would
that
do.
stuff, yeah.
But it will take me some time. What?
I have a question.
Yes?
Do you know of any other libraries that are around that are like outside of town? Maybe
I
a day's worth of travel outside of town? That maybe
the
has
north-
been
northwest,
confused with
west, north.
laboratories at one point in time?
I'm make a persuasion check.
That
You go. Alright, I'm not exactly sure who told you, but I've
The
You-
call that told us.
specifically regarding me,
no.
Why do you think he would specifically tell us about you?
I don't know. That's why I was asking.
Cryptic.
I used to work at the Athenaeum of Inquiry, the library you speak of. The A of I was in fact, library. And during the emergence, they seem to have decided to withdraw resources from this library and kind of fell into ruin. And this is now what we've received is an abandoned building outside of DeGray.
Were you part of any kind of, what do I say?
I was a resident alchemist there, and I simply aided in alchemical research.
But what did that entail? Like, did you do any kind of experiments on creatures that were unwilling
I mean,
or held against their will, or
creatures know everything I was using and touching was, well, was alchemical in some sense, and minerals, elements, liquids, and such.
did you know about any kind of corruption within your facility?
Well, make a charisma check.
See, I didn't even.
So you act like your charisma's not +5.
And it's +5, so 14.
Well, there were specific individuals that seemed to do some unseelie things occasionally. I witnessed some of these things, and usually I would head in another direction, and eventually I quit and I stopped working there. It just so happened just before the resources were withdrawn for the emergence, and resources were reallocated and redistributed, and we happened to, the place ended up shutting down. I worked directly under Dr. Urrit, and he started
I mix some shit.
what?
I'm sorry.
Did you hear it? Yes.
You're
Yeah. He fucking ass. He never played a serious game. Cool. So,
What did this bad doctor do?
yeah. Well, do you want to find out?
Yes.
People started showing up, willing participants in usually strange high numbers, and he was determined to find a solution to the emergence problem. So, not exactly sure. After that, I left. I really didn't want to be. I don't know. It was an alarming amount of individuals that were showing up, apparently willingly, and they would walk right in. There was no shackles or anything along those lines. And
Do you think that they were under some kind of spell? I can't assume that all these people would, or creatures would just walk into some kind of lab like that and have horrible things done to them.
well, first, I don't know necessarily if anything horrible was done to them. Unless you know something that I don't.
Mm-hmm.
Is that a you agree, or you know something that I don't?
We'll find out.
Right? And secondly, it was definitely wartime. And we were trying to save everyone we could. It was... Were you around during the emergence?
No.
Well, I'll have you know there was a great sense of tragedy, but also a great sense of desperation to see if we will survive, to have as many survivors as possible.
So,
I'm
sorry.
Go ahead. You're good.
Was the doctor giving these willing participants some sort of concoction to drink that would make them stronger, or like were they warriors? Were they just common folk that were trying to
No.
survive?
He never did anything that was out of my lab. I simply worked the same department of some.
What was like his area of expertise?
He worked with the actual biomatter of Titans, and listen, you have to understand, there was a great sense of desperation. There was a very intense curiosity of what is going on and what can happen and what we can do to fight these individuals and these creatures that have come up from nowhere.
Did he make the Stisha?
I don't know what the Stisha is.
The Stisha is everywhere. They're all at once, and they're also not at the same time. They're not all at once. They're all kind of all over the place, but they're also not.
See,
super
you should
around.
sit
just went
down.
glaring.
Like, that actually
Entire
was
time.
That's pretty good,
was
yeah.
what
Yeah,
Stisha is.
Just. Oh, sure.
What about
you-
the Duchess of Adoring Dreams?
I.
No. Okay.
What?
What about the Titans?
What about the.
Yeah, they're the ones they were trying to make super soldiers. Is that what they were trying to do?
They were just simply trying to understand their biology and where they came from.
Oh.
And what exactly.
Like you would dissect a frog.
Did
Yeah.
it work?
I don't believe so. I left before their work was done, but even then, the resources were pulled before everything else came to fruition.
If we wanted to get in there, how would we go about that? And also, who else could we talk to? Find out
Well-
more information.
You could talk to Dr. Urt.
Mm.
He lives just outside of town, but he's kind of keeps to himself lately.
Sure he does.
But yeah, I guess it's an abandoned site.
He's going.
Walk in, it's to the northwest of here about a days, and then there are two separate woods that meet very closely in a single small path that you'd miss otherwise.
Just right by the library, right?
He's
Single
probably going to
small
run.
path in the woods?
But if we wanted to make that faster,
Is that what you just said?
Yeah, but not that. Sorry.
he's probably going to sprint
There's so
there.
many woods.
But the rest of us, if we wanted to make that less than a day's journey, do you happen to know a place we could rent a cart? Maybe one of these, and I show him our punch card.
What is the punch cards brand?
It is.
Oh my god. Shit, it's
Cards
been so
are
long.
The Beasts of Burden. Someone's
Beast of Burden.
Rube's Beast of Burden.
Ooze.
It is your good guy punch card. So he goes, oh yeah, roofs. Yeah, there's a roofs. It's just north.
Perfect.
Before we leave, does this document mean anything to you? Does it look familiar?
He looks at it for a second. He's like, it's very old, but I mean, this is definitely during the emergence, and I don't know. I've never seen it before, but
Does he seem to be telling the truth?
make an insight check.
Just been like staring at him the whole time since he said he wasn't clear.
Nat 20 for 23.
Yeah. Seems that he's never seen this document before. Again, this document, and I explained it to her, but I don't know if you guys were in the room. But she basically, it was correspondence between like officials of this library and this and what is the governmental or governing body at the time. So he was not a mid-level employee there that was in charge of alchemical experimentation, but it was, he explains to you guys it was like a library first. They did some experiments because you only have so many books and your curiosity is there, but it was a library.
Doesn't mean it right.
What exactly was wrong about it?
Any kind of experiments on people.
Well, they were willing participants, and that's a portion of what the experimental method. That's the process.
I'll believe it when I see it.
Alright.
Take another sandwich. So
Got this little gnome girl just.
Staring daggers. Is there anything anybody else would like to do right now? Or ask?
Can you draw us a map?
Yeah, and I guess I could. He has it in the back. Takes about 10 minutes. Draws you guys a map. Hands it over to you.
Is there anything else we should know about Dr. Barrett before we go talk to them?
Well, he's a strange one. And yeah, it's just outside of the town. He's kind of lost it for a little bit, but you know, when I worked with him, he always meant well. So
Also, just letting people know, there's a horde of zombies in the swamp that are probably coming towards Tigray.
So you say things like that, and it makes me think you are all crazy. He came in here spouting about thee, them, she, it.
Yeah, that's Disha.
You asked me about dragon blood. You asked me about this like,
You clearly don't get out much.
he's gonna roll an insight check. You wanna roll a persuasion check?
Why do we need to roll persuasion check? We're all being truthful.
Because it's persuasion. If you weren't being truthful, I asked you to roll deception.
She rolled an at 20 anyway.
I'm saying. If it
I love how it's
Yeah.
us versus you, apparently.
It's always us.
Like,
You all versus- every time it is.
You're not the rule maker for our world. You're actually an adversary.
He goes, well, I will take that into account. Is there anything else I can help you out with?
Did Dr. Era make the zombies?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, just
He's
there's
not a
zombies.
necromancer, so.
You got a napkin? So I got some stuff on my beak. You said if there's anything we can help with. I'm asking for a
And
napkin.
he goes in the bag. I mean, that's also an equal.
Oh my god.
Goes in the bag and
Hilarious.
hands you a towel.
They hand him a sandwich.
How many sandwiches do we have left?
And I walk out.
Bye.
Thank
You
you.
turn around, you mean mug him for 20 minutes, and then you go, bye! Excellent. So, that is where we will end today's episode. So,
That's the last thing.
maybe think
You
about,
didn't get any?
maybe in the next week, maybe think about like where you're going to get more sandwiches.
I'm gonna go to the tornado shop.
Where you're going to go down to this library.
We funded
Or
the
Dr.
tornado.
Uritz. So I don't.
What's going to
Learn
happen
again.
to your brain after ingesting dragon's blood?
I have no idea.
Oh my lord.
Thank you all very much for watching. If you enjoyed what you watched, please consider supporting us, following us, subscribing. If you do follow us already, we will be here on Sundays, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll get it for next Sunday. We'll usually have this conversation outside of the game. Anyways, we will be back on Tuesday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time for our Hangover. That is the kind of the breakdown episode of this episode. We chat about the game as an above game kind of conversation. We talk about things we could have done better, learning things advice we would have passed on to anybody else. Usually has some behind the screens DM tips, behind the players character sheets kind of things, and in aspects of what drives them and that kind of stuff. And it also really helps me as a DM kind of get feedback from my players and adjust that way. So please join us Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern Time for The Hangover, which is the after show. Otherwise, we'll be back here on 2 p.m. Eastern Time Sundays for our Persistent campaign. Until then, we will see you next week. Thank you all very much.
Bye.